Scenes never changes.
Oh, that's with apologies to Ron Perlman on that one.
Yes.
Oh my god, hello guys.
Hello. We survived the nuclear fallout.
Survived the nuclear apocalypse. I can't believe it. My vault had a little experiment
Oh.
where we all had Tonka trucks, but my Tonka truck was the biggest until one guy said mine's is bigger, so I beat him to death with it.
Bro, I was in the Gary vault.
You were in the Gary vault.
I was the anomaly. I wasn't the Gary.
Bro, you know in lore there was a bunch of non-Garys?
In the Gary vault?
Aye, it's just the fucking Garys killed them all.
Oh, bro, that's fucked.
It's fucked, bro.
I got out early.
I don't mean to alarm you,
Yeah.
but these vaults are fucked. These vaults are odd.
They're a little bit, aren't they?
I don't mean to alarm you, but some strange things might be happening in the Vault Tech Vault.
Yes. Odd.
Oh,
Things.
man. First of all, we're back.
We're
Hello,
back, yeah.
I'm Graham, that's Ewan.
Yep, yeah.
We're here.
Yes.
I think you can understand what we're sort of jazzed on at the moment.
Maybe.
I think you can get the hint.
It's a good... Yeah, I think so.
Don't
Fairly
fall
obvious.
out with us.
Don't
but
fall out with us, no.
you
If
know.
you can't guess.
It's The Fall Guy
The Fall Guy,
with Ryan Gosling.
Emily Blunt.
And Hannah Waddingham's in that.
Also...
Is
Mbaku.
it
I can't
Logan
remember his name.
Lerman?
Damn it.
Mbaku?
Mbaku's in it.
Fuck, what is his name again? It's not Sterling K. Brown.
Nope, that's not.
Ah, Winston Duke.
Winston Duke, that's it.
Who is it that plays the guy? Is it Aaron Taylor Johnson or is it Logan Lerman?
He plays the Ryan Gosling's actor, who he's a stunt double for.
Aaron Taylor
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Do you know what's funny? Because he looks like Logan Lerman in Bullet Train, which Aaron Taylor Johnson is also in.
Right.
But Aaron Taylor Johnson
not
in
him.
The Fall Guy is like a pure like weird junkie guy,
Yes.
which is what Logan Lerman in Bullet Train looks like.
Okay. I can see how you've confused them then.
Exactly. Simple mistake. I bet you they're both like much like Logan Lerman. Aaron Taylor Johnson's only in the movie for like 5 minutes, but like
Maybe.
yeah, okay, no jokes on aside.
Joke. Serious episode, June.
It's a serious episode. We're going to be talking about something that just sort of came out
Sidebar.
that get put into our sort of perspective.
Yes.
It's sort of a you know, you wouldn't expect it to be prestige,
But it is.
but you know, in the context of the franchise, you're like, oh, okay, you know, we need it to be good because you
Yeah.
never know.
Exactly.
I'm trying to make a shitty metaphor to compare Fallout, the TV show, and Deadpool versus Wolverine. Not
Oh man,
Deadpool, Wolverine.
I was talking about the continuation of the still game cinematic universe.
Oh,
That's
right.
what I was speaking about.
I was pure trying to make this big long-winded metaphor, and I'm like, this just isn't comparable at all.
It's just not,
Like,
is it?
scrap that bit. Like,
Get rid of it.
Rebecca, cut that.
Cut that.
Aye.
Don't
Right,
let the Vault Tech see it.
Let's get back on track. Then.
Oh, okay. Time to drop the bombs.
Time to drop the bombs. So, like, we're dropping bombs. Nuclear
Phew.
apocalypse, bro.
Boom.
We have just
The
not
year
just-
2077.
the year is 2077.
October 10th.
October 10th, 2077. A new Star Wars movie's finally came out in cinemas. I can't wait to go see it. The bombs have dropped.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
Again.
And I'm in the cinema and I'm like, oh man, this is the worst thing that could happen to me today. And then the nuclear bombs drop.
Bang.
And I'm like, something better, man.
Come on. Yeah, finally.
So we're not long off Amazon Prime's The Fallout series.
The Fallout. Yes.
West Fallout World.
West Fallout World.
Fallout World.
Set in the sunny hills of Hollywood,
It's Hollywood, California, IA,
California,
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, City of Angels. Although not the City of Angels.
Is that like dead?
Yes.
Because of the nuclear bombs.
Dead Angels.
Because of Fallout.
The Fallout nuclears. Yes, so Fallout, for the uninitiated of you all, the filthy scribes of you all,
Scribes, Brotherhood of Steel, Fallout reference.
is an alternative history where in
Go on, you're getting there.
hold on, I'm just going to give you the lore, right? So in the 50s, 60s, somewhere in there, right,
Yeah, it's 60s, late 50s.
they perfected nuclear fission and didn't invent the transistor. Is that correct?
Pretty much.
Yes, so that led them to simply use nuclear fusion for all of their energy and power needs. This, for some reason, left them in 50s America. For some reason. Right, they didn't evolve the music, they didn't evolve the look. That's just what it is.
I think it's
Capitalism,
stagnation. I think they basically
I
just go, like, we
guess.
don't need to improve anymore because
Aye.
we've literally reached like peak.
They've done it. So, capitalism takes over the world. China's like, I'm not having that.
That's gonna
So
say
they're
it.
like, we love the communists. They are at each other's throats all the time. They have big fights. War goes on for ages. Then, the bombs drop. Then,
Nuclear bombs drop.
after the bombs drop, nuclear wasteland, bang, that's the games.
That's Fallout. bro.
Okay, there you go.
Fallout is a post apocalypse. Man, you hit that was the brief.
Thank you. That was okay.
it's a long running game series.
It is. It was from 1997 to current day.
Yep.
Potentially.
It was a company called Interplay, and then they eventually did sell the rights to Bethesda. There's a sort of a long and sordid story there.
Yes.
And then
The rights for a moment came back to Obsidian, who had a lot of Interplay former.
Well, yeah, Interplay
workers.
basically. The remnants of Interplay became Obsidian. The rights didn't go to Obsidian. Bethesda.
They gave the
Yeah,
published,
Bethesda just like let them do it. They were
Aye.
like, "Oh, we'll like contract you to do it.
and then they done it.
We'll give you no time, and you have to use our
Give you
shitty Gabriel
18
engine."
months. Yes, you're gonna
And they
make
somehow
this game.
Still made the best Fallout
You're
game,
gonna make peak and then peace out.
and then get kicked out.
Literally, that's what happened.
And yeah, so it's a long-running game series, and it was adapted into a televisual program for your Amazon Prime
Yes.
by Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy,
The Westworld team.
the Westworld team, which I think I've said in the podcast
I've
before. I have immense faith in because I love
Heard
Westworld.
nothing but good things of.
I love Westworld.
Who was it that done Watchmen?
Who
That
was it done
wasn't
Watchmen?
Nolan,
That
right?
was that not Damien Lindelof?
Perhaps. I thought it was maybe Nolan was involved somewhere.
No,
That's fine.
I can tell you Nolan wasn't involved.
Watchmen also good though.
Yeah, Watchmen by
Pause.
Alex Garland.
Could
Watchmen.
Could.
Who watches the Watchmen?
Rorschach, right?
Zack Snyder.
Always knew it.
Yeah. So we're gonna like split a bit here.
Okay.
We have a lot to say about
Fallout
games.
in general.
Yeah, and Fallout,
Yes.
which we're going to not do right now.
Okay.
Or, well, we're going to talk a little bit about. We're going to have we're going to come back to the games at a later date.
Yes.
Because-
Because that can be longer than this.
Yes, we have a lot more to say about all of the games, or most of the games at the very
And-
least. I can even talk about some I've played, like
Exactly.
even the originals, like
And our enjoyment or lack thereof in them.
yeah, different opinions. That we're currently playing because of the energy of the show. We're talking about like getting back into them. Games picked up the Fallout 76, which
The
if
Fallout 76.
like that might be laden for you. It's
The
probably
most-
laden for Graham.
It was the most recent game. The game that broke me.
It did.
A little bit. It upset me upon release, but that's a separate issue.
Bro, it didn't upset me. Which the problem is that having playing. Oh, I'll say this about playing it with you so far. We've found a couple of bugs, and I'm a bit like I'm now realizing how unique my experience was because I had a
unique.
completely near flawless playthrough of 76 when it
aye.
came out, and everyone was like, "It's the worst game ever. It's buggy," and I'm like, "Everything seems fine to me, bro."
Like,
then at the
you're John
moment-
Travolta meme, like,
The moment Graham gets involved, and it's like this isn't spawning. That like it crashed when he went to a workbench. It did this, and I'm like, man, maybe the game had issues. Like,
damn, bro, damn.
but we're gonna play that a bit together and get
Aye.
Graham's thoughts on that bit, and then we'll probably come back and really tackle the greater meat of the franchise.
We'll really kind of dig into it,
But today
chew
we'll
upon it.
talk loosely about our sort of overall opinions
Yes.
and sort of look at the show a wee bit.
Aye.
So yeah, I mean, no even need to delay. So
Straight into it.
I guess you just start with what is our look at Fallout? What
We'll
was
look at Fallout.
sort of how did we get into it?
How do we get into it? Let me start with, I think it's one of the first games I remember playing, like, vividly. Like, I remember having my PS2, playing Resi 4. That's, like, core gaming memory. Early doors.
Yeah.
To come home from primary school, that's a bit too young to play Resi 4, just so you know. Playing Resi 4 all day,
Maybe a wee
right?
bit. I played GTA San Andreas, but we're alright.
There you go. Then we leveled up, we got a 360, and this is where it gets kind of murky. My memory's not great. I can't remember when I started playing it. If it was like before my peak online gaming life, like before COD, it must have been. Or if it was like in between, during, laid throughout. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, but it was like a transformative gaming experience because I didn't know games like that existed. Fallout 3 changed my life, okay? That's the title of my video.
Fallout 3 changed his life.
Didn't save it. We're getting to there. Changed my life. I'm kidding on. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I thought you didn't save the game.
No.
My house blood complete.
Bro.
I'm not saving the game.
One time it did crash and delete my save, which is heartbreaking.
Oh, man.
But yes, 43,
76 didn't start it, bro. Fallout has a long history of being fucked.
literally, and it's Bethesda's fault.
But
all the
I
time.
can't make games. This is known.
Literally can't, bro. Aye, so 43, very important game in my gaming journey. Fast forward, I played New Vegas. I only really appreciated New Vegas post 4, probably.
Oh, okay.
I never really played because I would never got like all the DLC for New Vegas. I played a bit of New Vegas and then like fell out of it for like I was either playing another game or something, whatever. But when the gap between New Vegas to 4 was like the Sahara droughts, bro.
Oh
Like
my
I'm
God.
telling you, there was nothing. There was crumbs on the floor,
It was
and I
quite
could
a
not eat them.
substantial gap, wasn't it? I mean, you're talking like what 2008, 2009 to like
16.
yeah.
16. So man was on the YouTubes, the Fallout YouTubes. Man was deep in the Fallout YouTubes. Okay.
Okay.
And any single squeak,
Wee crumb.
I was like, oh my god, Fallout 4's happening. And there was obviously like bits in 3 that were like, we're going to go to Boston. Like there was
They,
like
to be fair,
things
they
in
did
it.
actually mention, he had like the Institute and like something that I'm in Boston, Massachusetts.
Exactly. There was some hints in it leading to it, but somewhere the crumbs led, and then eventually, bro, oh my god, right? This is where the hype train for me like truly began to turn. I remember E3 texting you, and I'd come home from high school. They dropped the little photo, Bethesda, and it was like tomorrow, like this is the date, this is the time. There was a website you could go to.
And it was
Had like the clock.
It was the clock. It was like the mind. It was the Fallout like TV.
Yes.
Like thing, so you knew it was Fallout immediately.
Literally, it was like we're here.
I actually remember you texting me about this.
We're
this
awake.
Is, like, ancient history
Bro,
for us.
literally, I was like, bro, we are so fucking back.
I remember that. Like,
it's happening.
When that popped up, I'm like, holy fuck, it's a new Fallout game.
Literally, like I was in on it. I
don't remember being there when it transitioned. Do you remember sitting there letting the count? Because I was there when the counter ticked over.
Yes.
And it just started a trailer. It's like,
we're
bro,
here.
Here's a trailer.
It's a trailer. Bang. And then I don't know if it was the next day or if it was shortly thereafter anyway.
Yeah.
It was the E3 conference.
Mm-hmm.
And Todd came out and was like, I'm him. This is my creation.
God.
Let's fucking go.
Remember the E3 conference for Fallout 4?
This is the level of hype Fallout got from me. Like, this is it. My mind was exploding.
Absolutely racing.
Like, they could do no wrong. It did just work. Okay.
You're not pissing yourself watching, like, him be like, man, you can build houses in this.
See, at that point, I was like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen, right? I watched that trailer 80 times. Back to back.
Yeah,
okay?
I watched it like 3 or 4 times.
Like, it was incredible. So my mind was blown. I didn't know a game could be this awesome and exciting, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the level Fallout got me to.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited. I loved 4. It was a great time. I never really jived with the settlement. We'll get to that when we get to it.
I was going to say that.
Fallout 4 but was straight flames. I loved it. I bought it instead of Witcher 3.
Wow.
Because they came out like the same day. I didn't really know much about Witcher, to be fair, at the time. Anyway. So then, what is it, 2 years later?
3
year later?
3 or 4.
Is it really that much between it?
Well, 2 was like 2016. 4, sorry, was like 2016, 2017. You had like a year or two of DLC.
18?
And then,
I'm sure it's 18.
76?
Yeah, bro.
Aye, no.
Because
76 is 18, actually.
19's like COVID and that, right?
Aye. God, sorry, I forget COVID happened.
So, like, 18, right, 2 years later.
Yeah, it's about 2 or 3 years later.
Todd shows back up. We're not expecting a Fallout game. It's been too soon.
We're not expecting a Fallout game.
We're not expecting it to happen. What does man do? He says, boys, listen, hold up, right? We are going to give you the Fallout game you have actually always wanted. And you know what? He's kind of right by saying that.
Bro,
we're giving you...
You greedy bastards.
Online Fallout. Bro, you and the boys team up, fight Deathclaws. That's what we're here to do. And you know what? In theory, 10 out of 10 game. Sells millions of copies, right? 10 out of 10 game. Can't fail. But upon release, it's met with horrific reviews.
You people.
Millions of bugs.
Look what you have wrought.
Yes, this is the Armageddon. Fallout as a franchise at that point, I think, may have died.
I think that's a bit severe.
Obviously not, right?
76.
I would say it got pretty close to death.
I think 76 there's a really fascinating case study for like misplaced expectations of one note.
Right.
Like, a lot of people's issues with 76 was like the bugs on release and the like what the game was actually going to be like, because like a lot of people were just like, this is going to like Fallout Online, and then everybody was saying like it's not going to have NPCs, it's going to be played like this, it's going to be different like this, but people were like, yeah, but it probably will just do this because it's Fallout Online.
Yeah.
And then they were probably let down a bit when they're like, oh, it's like not getting NPCs. And I'm like, you just weren't listening. But then they were like hit by the barrage, like, oh my god, this is like a nightmare of bugs.
Yeah.
Because Bethesda's nightmarishly old engine, which they've been fucking like propping up like a dying old man. Like they've been just jabbing it with a shock prod to make games. Could barely run a single player game, let alone support a fucking persistent online multiplayer world.
Yeah.
And also they gave like the people who made Fallout 76 like $5.
Aye.
And they were like, just make a game that'll like a live service game that'll last a decade on that. 76 is a fascinating one. Yes. The brand recognition at that point was a nightmare because also Fallout 4, you loved it, but it didn't land in the cultural consensus as goodly as you thought it.
Maybe not. It sold the best.
Yes, it sold gangbusters.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying it was
its
like
ratings
the franchise.
Its ratings weren't New Vegas. What was
No,
New Vegas rated actually? Right?
Sorry?
It was originally rated better than Vegas, right?
I think the earliest score did peak New Vegas right at the start, but it was like Rotten Tomatoes. Like as more people added to it, it kind of kept going down.
Of course.
But yeah, people were like, I think like a couple of years after 4, everyone was about like, oh, okay, that was that was like alright. Actually, at the end of the day, like then it would start to like go back and be like, well, okay, maybe I can pick this apart. Oh, I don't know about that. So people were probably like, okay, like, yeah, 4 was like kind of great, but we're like past it. Like, what's next? I don't know. 76 comes out, and then it's like, obviously, like, the bug situation is a nightmare for all the people getting affected.
Yes.
The press circle around, I feel like the problem is, I feel like it became a nebulous of just hate. I don't know if it's because it was so popular, like Fallout. So, like, when it slips up, it slips hard. Because I remember being part of the press circuit of 76 and, like, the constant, like, yeah, okay, people were like, it's very buggy and that's bad. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's a shame they're getting bugs. And then it'd be like, you know, like, these guys all launch nukes at the exact same place and it crashed the game and that's bad. And I'm like, well, they deliberately tried to crash the game and it crashed. What's the story there? And it's like a promotional tie-in for 76 was like a liquor company made like an alcoholic Nuka-Cola, and it was like a plastic bottle, not a glass one. That means 76 is bad. Like, in the latest in the string of 76 controversies.
Right.
Like, that's not that game though. And like, you would just hear every issue with the Fallout franchise was like kind of related to 76 at that time, because 76 was like the instigator. A bad Fallout game came out and everyone was like, every issue with Fallout's happening right now. So that's why it probably felt like the death of the franchise, because it was running very fast,
Right.
and then it slipped up and hit the ground hard.
Yeah.
And for some reason, people were like vultures. They were like, Fallout's fail. Get it?
Right.
Like, dog pile on. Now's the time. Let's just get all our fucking issues out. Do you know what? Fallout
Right.
4 wasn't even that good. I think once 76 fell, for some reason, people were just desperate to sort of dogpile a bit in the greater cultural sphere. So that's probably why it did feel at that moment like Fallout could have just died right here.
Definitely. I mean, like, I think like the conversation at 76 as a game is to be had in the game episode.
That's true.
And
And like,
I think-
I don't want to speak high and mighty. I've probably mentioned in the podcast. I had actually a perfectly fine experience with 76, but like I said a minute ago, I'm starting to realise that's probably like a unique
Aye.
experience.
It's important to note that's not the medium experience.
Yeah, the launch of 76, probably from 76 all the way up until the update that finally added NPCs, it was treading just water. It was overall quite buggy, hard to play for a lot of people, and a lot of people also just missed the core Fallout experience because it didn't have NPCs, it didn't have a lot of traditional quests and like skill checks and that. It was a lot more exploration oriented. I don't know why I said it like that, which a lot of people just didn't jive with.
Aye.
Weirdly enough, I just did. I was having a great time, but that's my unique experience. And then the greater
Aye.
culture sphere for a lot of people, even including Graham,
Aye.
it just was a buggy mess that didn't kind of like resemble what you thought a Fallout game should be
Yeah.
at that point. And then on top of that, as I say, the greater storm around it.
I'd say when we get to like 76 is the end of that episode, and 76 probably is an episode to itself, because the greater conversation about the game launching in that state, game ethics, stuff like that is probably going to be in that conversation somewhere.
Yeah,
And
100%.
I could understand it's going on for that like a good like hour or two just on its own.
I
not
had a
even
lot to
touching
say
the
about
game.
Fallout 76, bro.
Actually, right. So that's in there, but like important to note that like, where I'm at before the Prime releases the show. So 76 comes out. I pre-ordered it. I've played like a bit of it. I don't even know if I played it that much because
I
it
don't
was
know-
getting.
I don't remember you playing it that much.
It was getting
I think
pan-dealt.
you get bored it quickly.
Aye, it was getting slammed, and I was like, you know what? I have had like some bugs. I'm just gonna leave it, and I never go back to it until like now, basically.
Yeah.
I'd say now I dipped my toe in before for like a day, but I'm
Oh, I
like,
remember
I'm
that,
kind
aye.
of like back here now to play it.
Ah,
To
yeah,
see
back
where
in
we're
now.
at, because now we're in a state where it's like it's definitely more like a Fallout game, and it's more fleshed out. There's more things to do than originally at launch.
76
I
has
mean?
had its No Man's Sky. Like,
Aye,
people
it's
don't get
got-
enough appreciation, because I think the thing is, people don't want to get credit because it's a AAA, technically.
Aye.
It's a Bethesda game. People don't want to admit that the game's
Mhm.
got better, had its redemption.
Yeah.
People are happy to talk about that with games like No Man's Sky, because like No Man's Sky is like almost an indie project. I know it's backed by Sony, but like it was just like
Aye.
one guy and he's like pure novice team, and they really worked hard to make free updates.
Yeah.
So did Fallout 76, but it's also a Bethesda game, and people love to beat up Bethesda, not just for Fallout, but
Like
for
I'm saying, like
everything.
the game ethics thing. That's another thing, because No Man's
Exactly.
Sky sold you a dream down the
That's
river.
We'll
right.
probably talk extensively about
Exactly.
No Man's Sky when we get to the 100%.
So like they have very similar like stories in the
yeah.
history. I mean,
And
like,
what the
that
point
way.
behind that was like, you're back in it now. You know, we're post the Fallout show.
Aye.
Like, you've got the jive. You're like, I'm starting to feel like I want to get back into Fallout. And 76 is the one you're sort of the least experienced with
exactly.
that you can
It
play right
absolutely
now.
is the one I'm least experienced with.
And
yes.
it's the experience massive change.
Aye, exactly.
6
So-
years of content updates. All
Exactly.
free.
There's a lot for me to do in that game.
Yeah, there's like multiple like quest lines. They're like some of the biggest. If you look at all the biggest expansions, there's like arguably more of a experience in that now than was ever in the base game for like people who want like a proper Fallout game.
Probably.
So yeah, you're like now.
I'm now here. But yeah, post launch it killed me. I don't think I played the game. I played New Vegas again after the launch 76
Oh, I don't know
for a
that.
good bit. I did a full run. I don't think I've done the main quest completely because you've played it enough. You don't really need to do it. I guess you just do all the DLC, you do all your
Was
fun
true,
stuff, and you just leave, peace out. So I played New Vegas again. That was when I kind of really appreciated New Vegas that time. I guess 'cause I'd done a lot more of the stuff. So I was kind of cool with the franchise. I was like, cool. 5's not coming out till after Elder Scrolls 6. So
off.
2040. I'll see you then. Okay.
We'll be back.
That's the vibes, right? That's where we're at. Then we hear rumblings. Amazon have acquired rights to develop a TV show for the Fallout franchise.
And it's got the Westworld team on it.
It's got the Westworld team in it. I've not watched Westworld, but Ewan assured me.
Yeah, like we said,
that's good news.
I heard that and I was absolutely like, holy shit. Like,
yes. That led me to like a glimmer of hope. Right. But like, you understand the state of the franchise at this point was not looking great. At least from public perception, right? So when it eventually did drop and we watched it and it turned out to be peak fiction.
Literally like no cat peak.
It was like an extra layer of like excitement added onto it.
You're kind of back. You're like, man, like it's kind of like how Marvel can be for us. Like we had a dip and now it's like, well, no, something's showing you what a good one looks like. And you're like, cool. I now remember what the good was like.
Back on the up.
You know, you came to me and you're like, bro, I want to get back in. I want to play 4. I want to play 76 now. I want to go back and play 3 in New Vegas back.
Exactly.
There's no real easy way for me to do it at the moment. But like, you sort of remember how good it is and you're like, well, maybe I can join. And you know what, once you're in a good mood, you can experience it. Like, that's maybe why you're like, well, I could do 76 now because I'm in such a good mood about it. And I suppose 76, at least you know it's get better. If 76 had never received an update, maybe you still would have been like, I don't want to play 76.
I think
still
so.
Bad.
Yeah.
But
like if Fallout 76 released now as a game, it would be received better.
Yeah, definitely. If everything that was in the game right now came out at launch for one, I really maintain that it's like the NPC like questification of 76, they told us that wasn't going to be like that. People still somehow expected it and then get pissed when it wasn't in it. But like, I do think, even I still admit though that, I mean, yeah, it's like a better game now because that's all there. You know, because it's funny, you have a sort of a weird parallel relationship to mine then.
Right.
So,
but that is like, that's the level. That's how we go from like pure hype, childhood joy, through to, oh my god, the world is awesome because Fallout's in it, to, oh my god, the world's crumbling because Fallout's in it.
76 says Fallout had a bad game.
Yep.
It's over.
It's over. It's Jover. To, oh my god, the show's out and Pog rejuvenated.
Literally. So I was always on and I never took my foot off the pedal.
I've always been here.
I've always been a believer. So we have a very similar intro to Fallout, which was so my dad was a big PC gamer back in the day, so he played the originals and he was always a big fan of it. And so I played games before Fallout. I was a PS2, PS1 kid, and I have a lot of vivid, distinct, full-blooded memories of those games. But I think you said it best when you had 3 was like the first serious game I ever played.
Yeah.
I think it was, the way I remember it's because I remember watching my dad play it in his 360. I'm like, man, this is amazing. Like, fucking what's going on here? And he's like, man, this is Fallout. I played the old ones. And then eventually when my dad sort of stopped playing games as much, he gave me his 360 and he gave me Fallout 3 because I was like, I want to play Fallout 3. I watched you play it and I really want to play this game. It looks really, really good. So that was like my first of that generation as well. Which, that's a really weird niche fact about me that not a lot of people grasp. But I'm a PlayStation guy through and through. But there was a lot of period there where I was a 360 kid. Yeah. I only had like 3 games for it. I had Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, I had Fallout 3, and I had Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution.
Man was Chivo hunting.
I mean, I was a wee bit. Sid Rev. Oh my god. Sid Rev. And I played Fallout 3 and I thought, holy shit.
Peak.
This is tits.
Yes.
Like, this is so fucking cool.
That's great.
I bought the DLC. That was back when you didn't have to buy them digitally. Fallout 3 had physical
disc DLC, boys and girls.
Discs. I think I had Operation Anchorage in the Pit, and you had.
I had Steel and Zeta.
Steel.
Where's Zeta?
Where had Zeta?
You have Zeta. There's only 4, right?
No, there's 5.
There's 5.
Operation Anchorage, the Pit, Point Lookout, Broken Steel, Mothership Zeta.
Right.
I think Mothership Zeta was on its own one, and I think
that's the last one.
Me and you, like, neither of us had it at the start. I'm gonna look this up because I'm very curious.
Do you know what? Yeah, because I remember. So they had 2 discs with 4 DLCs on it total.
Yep.
Zeta was excluded, and then I bought the Game of the Year edition.
Yes, this is pivotal. You had the Game of the Year edition.
Got Zeta.
Yeah, I'm looking here. They didn't do Zeta on a disc.
There you go. Right. So I think I had Broken Steel then, right?
Yeah.
Which gave you the level cap upgrade and the new ending to the game.
That, yeah. I remember that because eventually the thing that actually pushed me to PlayStation full time was after I finished my first playthrough 3. One day I went back. I just like started again. You know, I was like that type of age where I'm like, fuck it, let's just go again. Yeah. I don't know if this was. I think I'd played all the DLCs once. Except maybe Zeta. Because I never had Mother 30
Aye.
because I never had the
Exactly.
DLC disc.
And I bought the Game of the Year on Xbox. You probably
Yes.
were still on it at that point.
We were still on 360, but then I was playing through it and my 360 like fucked.
Aye.
It broke. I
Gone.
wouldn't be able to get close to the Jefferson Memorial, which is like literally where the end of the game happens.
Aye.
And it would crash every time I get near it, and I'm like, well, I can't fucking play the game because I can't go to the most important location of the whole game.
Yeah.
I borrowed your Game of the Year edition disc on the 360.
Aye, to see if it would fix
See
it.
if it would fix it. Did not fix it.
Mm.
So I get a pissy fit about it, and I'm like, this is the one game I want to play.
Mm.
So I convinced my family to get me a PS3.
Yep.
And I got a PS3 copy
Yes.
of Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition.
Pog.
Worked flawlessly.
Beautiful.
Worked like a charm.
Gorgeous.
And I'm like, oh, Sony, you've got me.
You've got me now
But
forever.
famously, this might come back up in the games episode, Sony may have had me at that instance, but Bethesda did not like Sony.
They did not, Ewan.
Bethesda do not like Sony.
They do not.
I mean, the modern age where they're an Xbox company, it
Yes.
explains it, but even back then, they didn't.
Aye. I don't know if it's because the infrastructure for their engine specifically is like a nightmare to work with
Yes.
Sony.
Well, that's the thing. Bethesda act like Sony are terrible to work with. I'm like, no, you just can't make games that well, Bethesda. You have a
guess, man.
shitty ass engine.
Yeah.
So, like, it's harder for you to make games on a PlayStation because you'd have to try and you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I love you guys, but you are just lazy arseholes sometimes.
Like, the ultimate place to play these games is no doubt PC.
Yes, 100%
Because
mods.
mods are available, and the game is like so encouraging of you to create your own or like to include mods in your play. It's like, I want you to do that, please.
Yeah.
Do that, enhances the whole experience.
And you know, these are PC like through and through. Like Bethesda just build it for the PC. I think it's like not even like it's built for the Xbox. It's a PC game but ported to the Xbox and PS3. So yeah, like I like for me then I was actually on. So I'm like, yep, love Fallout. Fallout's amazing. Then New Vegas gets announced.
Even greater.
I'm like, cool, I'll play New Vegas as a new Fallout game. I love
Pog.
it. Me and my dad halved on the special edition that came with a platinum chip and the poker chips. It's in that room over there right now.
It's behind me.
I just checked it online. It's worth 140 quid now.
Let's go.
Which is like, let's go. I think I got it for like 60.
Oh,
Man, mind when game collector's edition
Damn,
like
man.
60 quid, 80 quid.
it's disgusting.
These days, like Star Wars Outlaws, like with a DLC and a skin pack's like 140 quid.
Ooh.
That's not sure. And yep, that one. So this is where we diverge. So I was like fully in.
Yeah, you're in then. Aye.
I'm like, this is fucking amazing. I played New Vegas. I remember like New Vegas and Skyrim. I was into my games at that point where I'd stay up past like fucking midnight.
Aye.
I'd be like up in my room, fucking 12 years old, 14 years old, 16 years old, in my room playing these games. But the season pass, because back then a season pass was like a tenner,
Aye.
and it would get you all the DLC, foreign concept, and that's like all
Sidebar quickly. I feel like in the interim, that's where I picked Skyrim up probably. Is
What do
like
you think?
in the Vegas time. That's where I start playing that.
Okay.
I've never played Oblivion. I've only played Skyrim, but that is where I picked that up.
Oblivion?
Never played Oblivion. No.
I actually did go back. Sidebar, your sidebar. I went back and played Oblivion after I got super into Skyrim. I played that in the PS3 as well, which again, the worst place to play it.
Yes. Aye.
And yeah, I remember like the DLCs coming out and being fucking absolutely there no matter what. I remember coming back from a holiday when Old World Blues came out.
Oofed.
We went to see Harry Potter and the Death of Alice Part 2.
Yes.
And I was like, get me away from this wizard shit because
I don't want this.
like we came home for the
The
holiday.
smoke.
I turned on my PS3, started installing World Blues. I'm
Yep.
like, right, let's go see the movie. I don't care. We got to go see the end of Harry Potter.
And then I'll be back.
There was like a fight in the fucking audience because some girls were being a pain. I remember this so
Oh,
vividly
God's
because
sake.
I came back.
Because you
I
just
was like,
wanted
cool.
to get back.
It's like 11 p.m. Let's play. I have to play World Blues. I
We're
remember
here.
watching the trailers and it was pulpy sci-fi. And back then, little baby Ewan hadn't fully developed his love for like fucking like Plan 9 for Outer Space, like
Oh my
B-movie
God.
sci-fi. But I remember just being enamored with the trailer.
What's the like giant women? I don't know. That was weird.
Like, Attack of the 50-Foot Lady.
Yeah, that
like,
one. Aye.
Stuff like that. Vision of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
We have been waiting for you.
Them.
Them, bro. Wait, is it not those?
Yeah, it's 43 in it.
Fallout 3's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one. Is that not the one that's called them?
Yes.
Oh my
And
god.
it is just ants.
It's just ants, bro.
Like literally.
That's how you get ants.
Bro.
So yeah, I loved New Vegas. I love it. It was such a seminal game for me. I've played it through so many times. I've either platinumed it or I've come close to it. I need to double check because I think one of the trophies may have fucked up on me, but I played it through 4 times because I've done like Mr. House,
Yep.
Legion, NCR.
Yeah.
I've done a hardcore playthrough.
Oh.
Like
Sounds like a great time.
I literally went all the way in on it. With the hardcore one, I basically cheated.
Oh,
I'm
damn.
not gonna lie.
Damn.
I'm not that good at
Sped
like,
run the game.
hardcore games. Well, literally,
Yeah.
I'm
aye.
like, right,
Yeah.
turn on World Wasteland,
Yeah.
run and get Veronica, run and get the Alien Blaster.
That
The
complete
Alien
game.
Blaster one shots everything.
Yep.
Veronica 2-shot everything behind
Yeah.
me. Win the game. I think I picked like Yes Man and just skipped everything.
Aye.
You don't need to do anything for Yes
Nah,
Man.
nah,
mind
nah.
you. Go meet the cans. Cool. Went to Red Rock. Don't care. Go meet the Road. Don't care.
Deal with that later.
Yeah, no, I went as far as humanly be possible. The DLCs for that game are some of the best DLCs for video games, point blank.
Definitely in that conversation, 100%.
Because, like, you know, these are the guys who made the original Fallouts, so
Uh-huh.
like it was just as good as those ones were in terms of a storytelling.
And that's
basis.
when we get to the game episode, like, there will be an obvious diversion with, like, how Bethesda tell it and how Obsidian and Interplay had told it.
Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about that.
I love both. There's definitely positives and negatives to both, I'd say.
I would say so as well.
So that's like an interesting
I'm
conversation when we
not
get there.
a doer. One of the conversations that will come back up as well is the hard contrast between, like, you know, because there's like New Vegas fans and there's like New Vegas fans.
Like, you play 3.
Like, we're in that era now. We're in like the pure Star Wars prequel era of like, well, actually Fallout 4 was actually quite good.
Yes.
And if someone
3 has actually always been that good.
3's always been really good. New Vegas was really good.
It was.
But like New Vegas being good didn't mean that 4 was bad.
Exactly. Stop having it.
In my head, I'm like, 4 wasn't as good as New Vegas. But
yes.
Again,
like 4 is the prequel somehow.
I was hyped to fuck.
Yeah.
Like it was exact. You were like sort of just. I'm not saying you dipped out as much, but like I was always in.
Yeah.
Fucking Lonesome Road in it. And then I'm like, cool, we're in the law now. Oh, they've announced the new Elder Scrolls, so they'll probably a new Fallout like a while away.
Aye.
Fucking look at the teaser, Graham's texting me, and I'm like, bro, there's a new Fallout game coming out.
Wake up, Samurai.
And I was the exact same as you, pissing and shitting myself because
Literally.
I'm in love with Fallout at this point. I'd fully
Exactly.
realised my love of sci-fi over fantasy. I'd played Skyrim, but this is great. Paired up the PS3, definitely the worst place to play Skyrim.
Awful move. Awful, terrible move.
I didn't get the DLCs for Skyrim until like 12 years after all yous did.
Damn.
Yous were playing fucking
On
like...
the 18th re-release, might I add.
Literally. Yous were playing like fucking like... Yous were doing Hearthfire and building your houses, and I'm like, we've not even got the vampire DLC yet.
Man is in like Fandrel's house.
I'm still kicking about fucking Marker. Like, what's going on? So, yep, 4 comes out. I love it. I got it at midnight. I went to the midnight release.
Yes. I was there standing with you.
Oh, you were with me? Yeah, me, you and my dad went
I bought the strategy guide.
We got the strategy together. We got the Steelbook edition.
Yes.
But I was working at Game at the time.
So I
went back in like the next day.
The fly bastard.
I was going to pre-order it, but they didn't have any left.
Yes.
But then I went into the shop where I see the counter PS4 copy of Fallout 4 Pip-Boy edition.
Yes.
And I'm like, what's going on there? My manager's like, oh, it's like an unclaimed pre-order.
Oh.
And I'm like, can I get that? And he's like, if you want, like, you get your discount on that if you really want it. I'm like, fucking sorted.
To me, thank you.
So I got that. Probably the worst version of the collectible Pip-Boy that they've ever made because they immediately, like within a month, came out with a better version of it. But
did they?
Yeah, so
they reissued it.
It's the coolest shit. Let me be clear. I fucking love that Pip-Boy. I would wear it all the time. You could get an app
glorious.
that would connect to the game.
You could do, yes.
The funnest fucking shit. About like 2 or 3 months later, they were like, we're going to re-release it, and you're not going to need to put your phone in it. It's just going to have a Bluetooth LED device in it that will connect.
That is better.
And all of the buttons on it work.
Oh,
because
why have I not got that
none
version?
of the buttons on the plastic one in there worked, whereas this one was better made, better fitted, and better connected.
Right,
but
I need to buy that version. I've got the old version. I need to buy that version.
I'd like that one. I'd like the 76 one as well, but I don't know if that's get shit in it. I think that's just a display thing. That Fallout 4 one, like fully was like the tits.
The 76 one's cool, but I never got the collector's edition. You went all the way in.
Yes, because that's. So I'm loving Fallout 4. Get the DLC season pass. Cool.
Fire.
I did remember being done with it and going, I didn't enjoy that as much as New Vegas, but I never ever I never really get regressive. I have a bit of a period where I'm like the time sort of not soured me, but more
like
just
as we
maybe a
get
bit
older,
more like
we change.
as I became older, in my opinion sort of like galvanized, and I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, that actually wasn't as good as New Vegas.
Yeah.
And like the story was a bit pish in some places, but
I could say we agree there.
I like never sort of gave up on it. I one of the big things that we split on, fun enough, is I fucking love the settlements.
Literally, Ewan loves it so much.
Fucking love building.
He lives for this shit.
And I would play Fallout 4 long past it was done.
Simply building settlements.
So just out about it, I would log in, I'd check on it, I'd be like, what am I working on the day?
Nuka World's his favourite DLC of all time. That's hyperbole.
That's hyperbole.
It could be though.
It could have been.
Could have been.
Such a great world space. Why did they make the story only for Raiders? Although I built the fuck out of the one workshop you get in that one.
See?
I built the fuck out of the workshops in Far Harbour. I got some fucking amazing builds in Far Harbour.
Ooh, the mist. Ooh.
So I was in love with that. I'm like, this is just great. I don't know. I love my little sim settlements. I love designing it to how it looks. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, 76 gets announced. I'm like, dude, it's a new Fallout game. I'll play it. It's Fallout.
Literally just for me.
And I'm like, I'm not going to be caught out like I did with Pip-Boy.
I'm
going to pre-order the 200 quid Power Armor Helmet Edition.
Yes.
With
the Pip-Boy.
With a canvas bag. No, it doesn't come with a Pip-Boy. It comes with a Power Armor helmet.
Which one came with the Pip-Boy?
That was Fallout 4.
No. Did 76 not have a Pip-Boy as well?
No. That did have a Pip-Boy, but it was separate.
Right, okay.
It's like, see the
I'm with you,
Bluetooth
I'm with you.
LED super version of the software?
Aye.
That wasn't with the game.
Aye.
That was a single release of merch. And the
Right.
76 Pip-Boy was also a single separate bit of
Okay,
merch.
I thought there was a separate pre-order collector's super duper edition
Oh, that
with
was
the
Fallout
Pip-Boy.
76 was the Power Armor helmet. You get a map. You get a bunch of little plastic figures.
Mm.
You got the steelbook. You got a canvas bag.
Canvas bag.
That was one of those.
Make that clear.
That
Highlight.
was one of those triggering things. Yes, the bag that we did eventually get was like not canvas. The way that people were like we need to present a class action lawsuit.
Like Saul would have been on the
We
front
have
lines.
to sue Todd Howard now.
Oh,
The lies must end.
Saul would
then-
have won.
Fucking Todd Howard, maybe even out of his own pocket. was like,
Probably.
just tell me if you bought a collector's edition and I'll fucking send you a canvas bag.
I'm
So
sorry.
now I have 2 bags.
He does.
So those
he
people
does.
are complaining. Meanwhile, I'm like, gee, what? 2 bags? Holy shit.
Bro, I'm a bag up.
I'm getting 2 bags now. Like, that's great.
I've secured the bag.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't buy the £200 Power Armor helmet edition for the fucking canvas bag.
No, I
bought
bought
for
it.
the Power Armor
Exactly.
helmet, which is fucking top tits.
Yes.
I remember when I got that, and I bought it for myself for Christmas, and I
Yes.
gave it to my mum and dad. I took the
To
game
wrap
out.
it.
I took the game out
Yes.
to play it because it was October, and I get so my mum and dad could give me back the helmet for Christmas.
Mm.
There's a picture of me on Christmas wearing the helmet, like
Beautiful.
jazz hands. I love it. And yeah, like I've said multiple times, don't even reiterate it. I actually had a great time. I was in the beta for 76 because I
Man
pre-ordered
was.
it. I had a great time.
That I think so. I pre-ordered. I played the beta with you.
Oh, you did
I
play the
had
beta
I had
with
issues. I think I still got the game at launch, but but that is like
Well,
where
I'm
I
pretty
just
sure you did. Did you not have
done.
to pre-order it to get the beta?
that might have been it. Yeah, the break it early test.
Well, although that also is where the controversy starts. 'Cause a lot of
Aye.
people were quite like the beta was like quite close to launch.
It was very close. It was like 3 weeks maybe.
It was like literally
It
2 or
was
3
very
weeks.
close.
So people were like, you're not going to be able to fucking change much.
Aye.
And consequently, apparently they didn't because it launched in a diabolical state. And yeah, I was just fine.
Man was just like test subject 0, like perfect run.
I was just sucking. I was just like
Pause.
fucking frolicking through the fields.
Man was in the God server.
Nothing was like, yeah, I was just constantly at the best rolls. I mean, sometimes I'd get bugs. The enemies will like glide across the floor. I was like, well, I mean, I've played Fallout 4, 3 in New Vegas. Like, these things just happen. I was a bit like,
True.
you should fucking see how many times New Vegas crashed, and that's the best one.
Aye.
So, like,
I've been like trained like a dog to save every 2 minutes.
pretty much. Like, 76, just, I played it like a Fallout game and I had a great time. I was there for every peak and bound. I was there for the Fortnite mode. Everyone be like, why they added a Fortnite mode? I was there for when they removed it, and everyone was like, don't remove the Fortnite mode. I actually love it now. Bring back Nuclear Winter.
Please.
All the updates, the roadmaps, we're going to add this, going to add that, and then, you know, obviously the eventual, like, guys, we're just going to admit it.
Yeah.
We're putting NPCs back in it. We're
It's happening.
turning it into a fucking game
We
now.
couldn't do it any longer.
And that's just been a long, ongoing procedure, obviously.
Yeah.
So I was actually never dipped. I was always on.
Mm.
And then they just go from step to step with sources are saying, there's a
Bro,
Prime, I've got the rights to a Fallout TV
they're
show.
here.
Sources are saying, like, the Nolans and, like, Lisa Joy Kisson. No, fuck. It's, like, kind of filmed or whatever, which is
Yes.
Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy. I
Okay.
think they're, like, exec producers, basically. We need to be careful
Yeah,
about
yeah.
how we're attributing, like, the credit here. But, yes, they got it. I'm like, that's a waste, guys.
They get the ball rolling at least.
That's true, yeah.
We can
They're,
attribute
like,
that to
the head of
them.
it. They moved
Aye.
all the pieces. Jonathan Nolan is a big fan.
Aye.
There was a sort of a thing about how he would say that in the pre-release and the build-up. He's like, no, I'm not a really big fan of the games. And it's like, all right, okay, yeah, like Hollywood
Like
speak.
everybody says this.
And then like it comes out, we're like, God, that guy must have been because holy shit, look at this show.
Or if he wasn't, someone near him is.
Yes, like so he had the voices in his ear. They had like
Aye.
a fucking the Dave Filoni story group for Lucasfilm.
I mean,
and,
like Todd is there. Todd has influence.
Todd's there.
Todd
Todd's all
wants.
over this.
Todd wants to see the things that from the game in it. Makes
Mhm.
sense. So like Todd, great hand in it as well. As much as he gets absolutely slandered, man is still a great executive.
Yeah, Todd's such a weird
Do you know
one.
what I
to me. I love seeing Todd Howard, but I hate him. He's a bastard. He's a bastard, Todd Howard. But I'll never get tired of him.
That's just because he's friends with Phil, okay?
No, it's not just his friends. It's because he's a liar. He's a charlatan.
He's
He's a swindler.
Yes.
He's a cheat.
It's true, it's true. I can't
Do you
even
think
die
a game
this.
just happens to release like that?
Do you think that?
Like, it was him, it was Slippin' Todd.
Bro.
Like, but you know, he's so endearing, and you know,
He
he
is.
lies, and you know he's lying.
But that smile.
And, you know, he's got such a charisma to him, and he will just still
Bro,
present
does
you
have
like, you
10
know, like
charisma.
Skyrim was a good game.
Sure.
You might not have been able to see that mountain and go there, but Skyrim still was a good game.
Skyrim was still a good game.
So you know he's still doing something. He's just a bit
Yeah.
of like a bastard about it.
He is a bit, but
So
I love him, yeah. I
Yeah, I
can't
always
lie.
gave him that. I see him and I'm a bit like, oh, there's that fucking rapscallion.
Like,
What's he
oh,
up to? What's he doing this time?
It's
He's rubbing his
like-
hands together.
it's like a toxic relationship.
It's
Like,
like a
you
toxic
shouldn't go back to them,
relationship,
but you always do.
actually. 100%, aye. Like I shouldn't let my way out, but yeah, he's always got me.
Damn it, man. That damn smile.
So I was just like, yep, here we are. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
It's the Westworld guys. It's a Fallout show. I love Fallout. Fallout's great.
Pog.
I'm fighting the changes on Twitter every day.
He is.
76. Like,
He's out here.
I even to this day, people still are like kind of bad to 76. I think it definitely. The problem is that initial negative first impression was fair because it deserved it for being muggy. But the problem is people have just allowed that to permanently colour it. Which the one thing you have to say for a live service game is that like you can't judge it based on like what it was versus how it is.
Right.
People will happily go, well, No Man's Sky's been redeemed. But then you ask them at 76, they'll be like, well, it doesn't matter. There's been 6 years of free updates. I played it at launch and it was poopy. So I guess it's the worst game ever made forever.
I get what you're
I
saying.
have a lot of people like that, and I'm not saying this is like even some grand culture
Again,
thing.
that's another like gaming ethics debate.
I
we'll
just
get
get
into.
faced with I had a YouTuber I really like recently who did a synopsis of the Fallout show, and he's like, by the way, just when we begin, just so you know, I tried 76 and it was stinky poopy, and I knew to get out of there immediately.
So man turned the video off.
And I'm like, well, yeah, why would I watch it from there if you're just going to be like, yeah, I have a really biased opinion about this? I'm like, cool. Like, I don't even say you need to like 76, but stop pretending that like it's anything remotely like what it was back then.
Aye.
But that's personal, and we'll probably ethics. We'll get to it. But speaking of, we'll get to it. We are here.
What, ladies and gentlemen?
We're excited.
Are you ready?
Game's getting his energy back. I already had my mojo.
Exactly.
I love Fallout. It's
We're
literally,
arriving.
It's my top 3. Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, yeah.
Fallout, and I don't know. I used to say Pokemon, not anymore.
Man, maybe that will have a show as well one day. I don't know.
Well, it's going to get live action movies. We'll get that. Detective Pikachu.
Come on,
I
man.
need the second one of that. Let's go.
Zelda, then it's Pokemon. Okay.
Bro, the universe, the Smash Bros. Multiverse.
That's it.
Why is my third favourite game series?
Man, I just thought you were talking fictional world here. That's what I thought you were going for.
Well, maybe. Yeah,
It's probably
maybe,
still in the top 3 of that.
Yeah, I mean, favourite fictional world probably is still Kingdom Hearts. No, not. I love Kingdom Hearts, but it's Disney, so I can't really say it's my favourite fictional world because it's just Disney.
And I hate Disney.
Maybe Star Wars, I guess, if we're talking about games.
Probably, yeah.
Jedi Survivor, like Battlefront.
I'll let you have it.
But we get to the show. Trailers are coming out.
Uh-huh.
Leaks are coming out before even the trailers are coming
Leaks are out.
Sets are looking like after the game.
Yup.
Power
Armor's in it.
Coca-Cola bottles. Trailers are coming out.
Bro, California.
Songs for the old game.
Beautiful.
Like, man,
Ink spots, that's what you know.
this could be him.
Little bit, you.
We're living in a post-Last of Us world.
We are, in which game adaptations have some form of critical and commercial respect.
Yeah.
I would say.
Like, I'm not saying Last of Us was the first good video game adaptation.
It's not.
Sonic the Hedgehog was.
Doom, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Carl Urban, Fire, it's hot mess. Lies. Sorry.
What are we speaking here?
Yeah.
What was it called?
I don't know what the first great video game adaptation is. Is it the Mario Bros? I don't know.
Do you mean like the animated kids movie?
No.
Look, the Bob Hoskins one.
Yes.
No, that is the furthest from a good video game adaptation you can get.
You know, there's somewhere after that, and
I
before
think
Last of Us,
the first big, like, in-your-face one
is Resident Evil.
I was going to say it was probably Sonic the Hedgehog.
I mean,
I'm sure there's been good ones before
could
that.
be.
But Sonic the Hedgehog was universally and culturally accepted. Like, oh, that was alright.
And that had some
That was
struggles.
good.
That had some struggles to get there
And
as
it
well.
did. We had to bully them into changing the design.
Literally had to do that.
And then you've got stuff like...
It could be, yeah.
You've got the all ages kids approach, and then you've got the artistic approach. Cause
Yeah.
You've got the two strains of like Sonic the Hedgehog, the Mario Bros movie, but then you've also got like Arcane,
Aye.
like Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Mm.
You've got like The Last of Us.
Yes.
So we're living in a world now where like, okay, we can do it. Video game adaptations,
We're mining it
are
a
real.
bit. Yes.
and they're working.
Mm-hmm.
Sony must have had a couple. So
Uncharted, straight flames.
Oh.
Straight flames, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you think Gran Turismo based on a true story?
I think that was received quite well. I'm not even going to lie. I've not seen it, but
like that.
I bet it's alright. Aye.
But no matter what, like we've got a degree. We've got it's
Aye.
not just all Street Fighters and
Yeah.
like Bob Hoskins Mario Bros.
Like-
movie, which I did love, but
When Ghost of Tsushima comes out, we'll be very excited for it because everything else has been good.
exactly. We're like right, we're on a basis now
Aye.
of respectable, like evidenced progression.
Yes.
So like you're kind of like right, it's the Westworld people.
Mm.
Video game adaptations are good.
Mm.
This could be good,
Yeah.
and it was excellent.
It actually just was, by
It
the way.
was tremendously
It
good.
was. I don't know how to feel.
I don't know how to feel either. The first thing to really tick on is that it's not even an adaptation. It's actually literally Fallout 5.
Exactly, which is the best way to do it. Like, Last of Us obviously can't because Last of Us just wants to be a show anyway.
Yeah, aye.
So, like, that is why it has to be just beat for beat
100%.
almost.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, if they'd done it, like, something like that where it's like just a bigger sort of setting backdrop, and you can like tell your own story in it, around it, in the mess of it. You can do that. That makes more sense.
Yeah. A lot of people have praised it for like being like, yeah, no, we're going to tell lore shit.
Aye.
Even more impressively, they take big lore swings, and this is like, it's Los Angeles, it's California. This is like the pre-Bethesda shit.
Like, well, like in an area.
This is like Fallout, the place where Fallout 1 and 2 are set.
Yes.
This is like the NCR.
Aye.
And like the West Coast Brotherhood. Like, this is like Interplay lore.
Yes.
Which I said to you a while ago, which I don't know how much you really understood, but like, there's like Bethesda's lore and there's the original lore, and like, they don't really mix. Like, New Vegas
really.
was Obsidian, which was Interplay.
Like,
so
3 changes a bit.
Mm.
And Bethesda, obviously, 4 changes like way more.
Yeah.
And then when you get to New Vegas, they like try to fit both in somewhere.
Yeah. Or like, even if they do, they just have these weird like sort of acknowledgements.
Yes.
Like 4 might mention like my NCR, like fucking Nevada, and like I can't even remember if 3 even mentions like the Project Purity or something like that. But like they still just push forward. It's more like like 3 introduced some lore stuff that was contradictory, like
yes.
here on the East Coast.
Aye.
There's just like a nice brotherhood and they've got a giant robot.
And they're like, what?
New Vegas had to be like, okay.
Well,
on the West Coast they were still bastards though. But
yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
I never felt that they were
stuff like
too
that.
contradictory until like at least it's not like they were like you play New Vegas or like you play 4 and it's like, well, that's retconning.
Aye,
like,
aye.
That's fucking
We're not
alive.
doing that.
It's just more like you could feel like right on the West Coast and the East Coast are doing entirely different like plots and situations and characters. And yeah, for like a Bethesda era, Bethesda approved thing, like Bethesda Game Studios is in the fucking the top of each episode.
Yeah.
But it's the good Fallout lore. It's like the New Vegas one, which people are like, oh, hang on,
yeah.
that's like my thing. Be careful when you're touching my thing. And some people have been a bit pissy about it. As like a New Vegas like king.
Aye.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was amazing. It took big swings. And they were like, not only are we going to do a sequel, but it's going to be the most sequely sequel.
I'm respecting the swings.
I'm respecting the swings because like, we're just going to fucking answer questions. We're going to talk about how the war started.
Yeah.
What's the how the Vault Tech came about. And then we're also going to deal with the far future. Like, man, mind after New Vegas and Fallout 2. What did happen to the NCR and like Shady Sands?
Bro.
What actually happened in like the California like post Fallout 1 and 2. Which is really like, yeah, I'm just so impressed that they were like, fuck it. Like, this is one of those things where I'm like, yeah, Nolan must have did really like and respect the original Fallout games because he's like, I have something to say in that world. Not just the world of Fallout, but the world of Fallout 1, 2 and New Vegas.
Well, I guess, but I would say, like, Todd's no signing that off without knowing about it.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
he's
obviously.
very aware of the Fallout plot, what's happened, the events that have taken place. I'm sure he is.
100%.
He needs to be.
I just, like, I feel like I've never really felt like Todd wanted to be the one to talk about that though. Like, he might know about it, but like, for example, if Fallout 5 did come out, I don't think it would be like, oh, actually, Todd Howard's going to do a game based.
It's not Vegas too.
Yeah, it's going to be like.
Well, I think it's because like
Maryland.
He's based there, so that's like his area. I guess he's more comfortable.
He has like this old lower carved out that he's working on.
Yeah, and you know what, that's fine. Like let him do that. That's his prerogative.
That's just why I'm saying it's like, oh, it's like not bizarre. It's just like impressive. I'm like, oh, cool that like. Jonathan Nolan was like, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about this shit. I want to talk about people's beloved New Vegas. And for Todd to be like, oh, yeah, okay. Like, cool.
Like, that's into the canon.
To fall together the way it does. It is one of the best adaptations I've ever seen for really translating the visuals, the feel. They use, like sound clips for all the game. You hear, like, the noises and you're like, that's for Fallout. That's Fallout. That location's Fallout. That prop's for Fallout. Even the new locations and the new stuff.
See the things.
It's like a Fallout place.
Hear the sounds.
Certain things just happen. You're like, that just feels like Fallout.
Aye.
There's like that one guy Lucy talks to quite at the start. It's like, the guy's just in his pants out in a house, drinking water. She's like, where Dad, like, can I get directions? And he directs it to Philly. He's like just like a Fallout NPC. You would just find him in a house.
Yes.
You'd like Stranger Shack discovered, and you just talk to this one guy, and he'd be like, man, you can go that way for a town.
Yup.
Tim Kaine, the creator of Fallout, has signed off on the show. He likes it. He's very much like, that was great.
Pog.
Cool. He was really specifically excited because the way that guy acts, especially the way he walks, is very reminiscent of like Fallout 1 style NPCs. Right. He actually is doing this thing with his sort of hands, and he looks exactly like a Fallout 1 NPC's walk cycle. Tim Kaine literally asked, he's like, did you guys do it deliberately to one of the directors? And they're like, well, we actually didn't. Like, some of the stuff we let people ad-lib, so that actor probably chose to do it himself, which means very likely that either that actor was just very intuitive, or that actor was like, yeah, I've played Fallout 1, I'm going to make myself look like a Fallout 1 NPC. Right. Every time they just went to a place and talked to something, like, this just feels like Fallout. It's just so good for that.
Aye. I mean, I wouldn't say Tim Kaine, like, it's nice that he thinks that. I don't think it matters. They liked it
No,
or
no, of
not.
course.
Like, it
You,
doesn't.
you like to be like the respect to the guy who made it.
Aye.
Plus, like I said earlier, I don't know exactly the full details, but the sort of the divorce or fallout from Tim Kaine and Interplay wasn't good or fun.
I don't think so.
It was very bad and it involved a lot of corporate nonsense.
Well, I don't
I'm
think they
pretty sure
sold.
Bethesda also were not in a good team.
Well, probably
Not
not.
in a
But
good
I don't
team at
think
that point,
the IP sold very well. 3, Van Buren at least was in like hell for years before
were,
they
I was a bit
eventually
of it.
sold it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, they made Brotherhood of Steel.
I believe I heard. I mean, I say, but yeah, like the some of the spin-offs were not really well received. I believe Bethesda was aggressive, but I actually believe a lot of the blame does lie with Interplay.
Like, Bethesda wanted IP,
Yeah.
so they were doing anything to get the IP,
I'm pretty sure
which
that
I
is
can
how it went.
understand business-wise doing that.
But so I mean, yeah, it's not like we need Tim Kaine to approve. It's just obviously very nice to have Tim Kaine approve.
It's just it's a nice sentiment. Yeah, like, it's pitch perfect and visuals, sound, and everything kind of around that realm. It's obviously very difficult to mirror the gameplay or adapt that.
Yep.
Because we're not choosing stats. We're not like exploring at our pace. We're doing it through the characters.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, I guess,
It's a necessary disconnect. You're
Aye,
never going to truly
it's
be able to
not-
translate that.
exactly, because that's not the full experience we're doing. The full experience that is the games.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you're gonna get that.
But I think they at least impart some of the vibe of it. You know, they're going through destroyed landmarks. Like Lucy's like grabbing gear from people. Like she killed a guy put on his armor. That's what I would have done in Fallout. Like they impart the best of it that they can.
The golden rule:
I
thou shalt get sidetracked by shit.
That's literally like, yeah, we just found out a wee side thing we need to do. We need to go to this place and do this one wee thing.
We need it.
And there's like this one location that's got a wee thing on it. That the whole super duper mark thing would have just been like a side quest.
Literally.
You could like speech check your way out of it. You could have killed them, like
Mhm.
all that. She chose to free the girls. Maybe I like don't have time for that, and I could have not, or couldn't have passed the speech
Bro.
check, so the girls wouldn't be freed.
I wanted there to be a karma pop up in the corner a little bit.
Could you imagine? I would have loved that. Like the like fucking like people like that thing like Fallout 4.
Telltales will remember this.
Oh my god, Lucy will remember this. I think even with the stuff they couldn't quite translate, it just they imparted the vibe of it, which was much
Think so.
appreciated.
Yeah.
Like I just remember feeling really comfortable when I'm like, this just feels like Fallout.
I'd say, man, they've improved on like a lot. Like the whole telling of Vault's like stories and secret hidden missions was much more engaging. Telling it through like a live action like unfolding in front of your eyes way, instead of like having to read it through terminals.
Like that was already like good enough. Like
Which is like,
the
having to read it through a terminal is just byproduct of like when the games take place.
exactly the
like,
Fallout Vault experience of like, oh man, I found a holotape and I'm going to like a little bit and I'm going to see it in reverse. But watching it unfold in real time and with like a person's point of view on an intrigue and like procedural mystery as opposed to like, well, I'm here at the end of it and I'm piecing it back together.
And I think like in a show setting, there's a way to do the game version of that in a very interesting way.
Well, I would say that's what happened with the other Vault. I think the Vault 4 story was a bit more like that because sort of Lucy and that we found a vault and yes, that's full of people. You don't get a lot of vaults that'll get people left.
Yeah.
But that was like look, here we are. There's this thing, don't go to level 12, and then you go to level 12. You see, okay, here's this. I've read this. You get the details.
Aye.
Like that's more like how we would have played it. Like we went to a place and we're now receiving the details to like understand what's going on here.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas like the 31, 32, 33 situation
still hasn't been resolved.
I was going to say technically we know what the deal is, but there's still plot to be done there.
Exactly.
And that's like, that was an actual unfolding mystery narrative because that wasn't told to us through like exposition. Like 4 was like exposition. Vault 4 was like exposition. That was like watch this video. It tells you what's going on.
Aye.
Listen to me talk. Tells you what's going on. That the Vault 31, 32, 33 was like fucking you see something and you're like, oh man, that's weird.
Yeah,
and,
what's that happen?
She's saying that. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Hang on, like all our overseers have been from 31.
Yeah.
So we're now
why is that?
We're noticing evidence and that's piecing together a mystery.
We need to get to 31.
Which for the record, those 2 new vaults are quite cool. Like. The first sort of the base idea of 31, 32, and 30 was like really interesting.
Triangle vault, yeah, it's quite good.
I'm like, oh, I remember every episode going to Beck. I'm like, oh, this was the experiment, or this was what was happening. And then Vault 4 was just like a kind of traditional style. Like, yep, we have a vault. It has an experiment, and here's how that affected the people in it.
Aye.
I was very happy with the characters.
Right.
Like, I think it was a really great cast.
I
think it was a really great single stories that would intermingle.
Right.
I'm very happy with how many different perspectives we got.
We've got 3 tracks.
You get 3 tracks. You get Lucy, the sort of the novice vault dweller.
Yes.
Explore the world, fish out of water.
How
she gets affected by it. You get Maximus. You've got the Brotherhood angle. you've got like loyalty, duty, but like
this is a big
morality.
faction in the world.
I was going to say that's like a big sort of post-war
Here's
faction.
a look at them.
They're really exploring like the sort of the post-apocalypse. Sorry, I can't speak. This is like what happens after the apocalypse.
Yes.
Like how does the world react? And then you've got like sort of the bad karma playthrough, which is Cooper Howard, the Ghoul.
The Ghoul.
But I'm obsessed with like the Ghoul as a character. I was like, yeah, it's just like a Fallout character. That's like the bad karma, kill everyone, bounty hunter.
Is he the bad karma though?
But yeah, then they use him to do the unthinkable and have pre-war flashback stories.
Yes, very interesting.
Some of the most fucking interesting shit they've done. You could have told me. I believe they did tell me. They did say beforehand, like, Joe, we're gonna have a bit of an origin story for the Vault Boy. I'm like, that's stupid, man. Like, you don't need to do like a fucking how did Han Solo get his name in his pants?
Yes, you do.
And then they did it, and I'm like, oh, that was cool and smart and made sense actually.
Yeah, it was quite nice.
I think it's it's because they didn't hammer it home.
And it's not even like fully resolved yet.
It's true. There's a lot of questions left on that.
There's a good chunk of stuff still to be dealt with there in the past.
Ultimately, this show is almost a mystery, and there's so many.
I mean, the way it's kind of laid out is like we're left with questions. Why did she take the father? Why did Moldaver take? Why did Moldaver take?
Well, that got answered.
Yeah, but like episode to episode.
Oh right,
like
yeah.
The way it builds to it, like what's happening in the vaults. Oh my god, they get captured by this vault. They're acting weird. Why are they acting weird? Stuff like that. It did kind of just layer upon it mystery vibes.
But also, it was really good at giving you answers. Like, by the end of the series, we have questions left. But
in a mystery, I want the answers.
Mm-hmm.
You might not have to spell it out to me, but I want the answers there. And that's what they did last episodes.
Which, I mean, I think the one complaint some people really had is that episode 8 specifically was just like just constantly exposition, like answer. But I think it's kind of just like, well, it's a good mystery because like as you get the answers, like, that's what you want. You reach the end, you're like, cool, I'm now being satisfied. I'm being given the answers that I've been waiting for and working
questions
to. And how did they relate to what I was theorising? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong?
Yeah. Has that unlocked new questions?
Exactly. And there's also that thing where a lot of the sort of the mysteries and that Fallout, it's like none of it felt like a fuck you. Like all the answers were like oh right, yeah, I should have guessed that, or that's a surprising twist, but it doesn't contradict what we know. Right. I keep constantly thinking about like really being impressed with like just the character type side of it. I don't know. I'm not saying it couldn't have had this, but like for like a Fallout show to have 3 very compelling character through lines and then still be left wanting so much more. Like
I'm
we
confused,
don't
man,
have a couple of
because that makes it sound like Fallout. You were like doubting its ability to have compelling characters in that way.
I suppose that does sound like that. I guess I mean more like, it's because Fallout's protagonists, a sort of blank slate protagonist driven game, you sort of make your own story.
Yes,
it's a bit like how you're saying about what they can and can't translate. So I find they made it look easy for them to take a story that's essentially usually from your perspective of the blank slate and generate 3 separate compelling narratives while still feeling like a classic good Fallout story. That's what I mean. Like,
I guess, but like the NPC characters have always been quite compelling.
Yeah, I know, but like the NPCs went our point of view.
I know, but I would like
they were able to give us like. I mean, I guess it's because Fallout isn't traditionally like Uncharted.
Yeah, but
like something where the character has a pre-existing story.
Like if you gave me a dance DLC, I'd play it because I want to know more about dance, like stuff like that. Like the characters are there, you just never plays them.
I'll give you that.
The stories are there in the world.
I'll give you that. I guess. I just was like.
You were just a bit shocked that
it was
as good.
Maybe I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was in general.
I mean, who was?
I guess there's just was a lot riding on it, and it's just like, something could go wrong, or something has to go wrong, and for it to just come out and it's like, no, it's actually better than you expected. And I'm like, oh my god,
exactly, yeah. It's like win for the franchise, thank you.
Yeah, win for the franchise is correct. What do you think? Let's sort of get into the nitty gritty spoilery side of it.
Okay.
Now this is good. I mean, let's not feel that we need to pad it out for people who might not get it. Let's just talk. You and me, but we might just say things and reference things that you guys just don't get if you're not like super into Fallout,
which hopefully will prompt you to go and research it maybe.
Yes,
watch the show,
like please watch the show,
form your own opinion,
and then like if
come
you
back,
get any interest in the show, pick up one of the games,
perhaps, yes, or watch a walkthrough or something.
I was gonna say I watched like a walkthrough.
Go to the wiki.
Like 1 and 2 are old PC games. They're harder to play now, although I don't know, it's kind of hard to play a lot of them now, like a lot of the PS3, Xbox 360 ones.
Yeah.
So this. It marks itself as a sequel. It takes huge swings on the lore. It's like, yep, we're in Los Angeles. This was where Fallout 1 and 2 took place. We've got some regular lore stuff, but then we get to like we've got Enclave. They're still kicking about.
The Enclave are about.
Shady Sands, blown up.
Shady Sands, it's gone. Kaput.
Capital NCR gone. And I was so happy that
Uh-huh.
they didn't shy away from it. I remember one of the first trailers had what looked like the NCR, and I'm like, oh man, they might reference the
The
NCR
NCR
Brotherhood
are
war.
here. They're here.
But it's like, no, we're at Shady Sands. We've got like the NCR remnants, like the NCR are a big
Yes.
deal. So, and this
We're a
show-
big deal.
we were a big deal. This show is like, yep, so we're touching on this.
Mm.
What did you think of, like, first off that side of the lore? Like, what did you think about the sort of how we're in the world now?
How we are in the world.
You know, how things have
Interested.
changed.
Interested. Enclave, you know, the remnants of the government
I think it's good that the Enclave have still survived. I mean, like,
in a form.
I like Fallout, that side of it, like the interplay side of Fallout was very much
Aye.
like Fallout 2. You've defeated them.
You've basically killed them all.
You've not like killed.
Aye.
I think the games whenever like you have literally killed them all, but for intents and purposes they're gone.
Like,
and in
you've
New
cut the
Vegas-
head of the snake off.
Yes.
It is withering and dying.
And then New Vegas was like, yeah, like we're kind of past their prime now. If there's any
Aye.
Enclave left,
3 was like involved. Like, we had a guy,
yeah, we have a whole garrison. This is like
John Henry.
and like I could believe you could just tell them like, yeah, do you know what? There's just pockets.
Aye.
So that's
that-
probably what the show's version is. It's like,
Definitely.
these guys over here.
Yeah. That was cool. I like seeing that. There's a pretty big facility of scientists.
Yeah, I mean, I
Is
hope
it
we
only
sort of go back
scientists?
to that. What's
We
the
don't know.
details?
You know, I'm sure they'll come back
There
at
was a guy
some
who
point.
looked like a super mutant there.
There you go. But
Um,
I'm sure they'll be involved later in seasons to go.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking, what do you think about where the NCR is? You're coming out of New Vegas,
Aye.
and the NCR are a power force. The NCR are and I said we won't explain too much, but there's no reason not to just say the NCR are a post-apocalyptic like faction. They've sprung out of the ashes. They're going to restart a traditional version of civilization.
They're trying to
Bureaucracy,
anyway.
Taxation. They're trying to.
Mhm.
They grow quite rapidly across the West. By the time of New Vegas, they're like the default good guys, but they're
Yes.
like much like the old world government are a bit shit and a bit corrupt.
They've got some issues.
And they're a bit adherent to like money and
They're
capitalism.
stretched far too thin by this war.
They make that very clear in New Vegas. Yet they're stretched far too thin and they're not in a great state.
Yes.
But like, no matter how you end New Vegas, other than maybe like a Legion ending, like
Mhm.
they're still like a force.
Aye.
Come like the TV show, it's been like 20, 30 years since New Vegas, maybe
Yep.
even more.
Mhm.
Their capital city has been nuclear bombed.
It's been bombed. Who by never stated. It's not the Brotherhood, correct?
No, they do. In
They
fact,
do
it
say
was
it's the Brotherhood.
No, it was the Vault-Tec. Minding that's what. Spoilers for the end of the show. Hank.
Oh,
reveals
yeah, it's
that he
Hank, it's Hank, yeah,
destroyed
sorry.
Shady Sands.
Man cooked me up there. It's Hank that kills him. So,
Which is also amazing because from the moment we found out, I theorized it was the Brotherhood because
Well, that's what I
and the
thought
Brotherhood have a
originally.
war in canon.
because Maximus's kind of origin is like it comes out of a fucking
Yeah, you.
fridge like Indiana
I was gonna
Jones.
say, I love that the ref. It's that like they know it's stupid. They had the Fallout 4 quest kid in the fridge, like
Literally.
so they're like, fuck it, we'll just commit to
Um,
this idea. So
He comes out and sees the Brotherhood. I'm like, oh man, if the Brotherhood's
I
there,
was gonna say, why is the Brotherhood already
they've
there?
probably
Like,
nuked it. So that made
we
sense
know they
to
have
me.
a war with them in canon.
Literally. Cool that they tied it to like the plot of the show.
Yes,
That was cool.
like I love that they didn't just drop this big like
Mhm.
because this is revolutionary lore again. Like the NCR have been in it since like
Aye.
technically Fallout 1, but like Fallout 2, like New
Aye.
Vegas. This is big deal lore. So
Hank
for them to-
didn't just like kill a guy. He killed like a faction.
Aye.
He nuked Megaton.
Would you think that is like the NCR are equivocally dead, or do you think this?
No, I
this-
wouldn't say so. No, but a blow has been dealt.
I was gonna say I think
to
this
the
is almost
power
like
of the
cut off
NCR.
the snake's head, like that. It's gonna
Yes.
be hard for them to bounce back for this.
I mean, the way we develop that storyline is to see which end in New Vegas has taken form in this show. That's the real way to develop it because they're dead in California.
Mm-hmm.
They're not coming back unless it's the Vault 4 remnants are just
I was gonna
deciding
say,
to rebuild it from there.
The Vault 4 people are like half of them are like the
Mhm.
old guard, and half of them are refugees that came from
Yeah.
outside. They always have a cultish like
Mhm.
love for this character Moldaver, who
Aye.
I feel like they maybe should have explained a bit more about Moldaver's weird
definitely
cult
should have.
status in Vault 4.
Well, maybe not her status there, but definitely like her as how she gets there and her interaction with NCR past just knowing Lucy's
true.
mum.
Moldaver has there's still
There's
a
a
lot
lot
of
to
questions.
do.
They can't leave that, even though spoilers, Moldaver's dead.
Yes.
They have to come back because
Aye.
the critical point that they've revealed for Moldaver is that Moldaver is a pre-war character.
Aye.
She existed before the bombs and is now somehow in this.
Well,
Well, the TV show is the furthest
aye.
point in the timeline since the bombs.
It's important to know that she's the only character not given an explicit reason as to how that's happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That is also in
there's a
pre-war.
bunch of characters technically that are pre-war to post-war, but she's the only one who we don't know how she
Gets there.
like survived the bombs without being a fucking nightmare mutant. She's
Yeah.
not aged barely a day.
Yeah.
How she then sort of got and clearly and deeply the NCR seems to have been quite
Yeah.
a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like a survivor and also this cult-like status in Vault 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, it depends on sort of things like New Vegas, Canon, that.
I would say that like New Vegas NCR know about it because it seems fairly close. Like Hank's there at the end of the show.
Yeah, there's the big spoiler, the big the thing you saw before you
I
finished
saw it
it.
before I saw it. I was upset.
Hank, we reveal that Lucy's dad is the main villain. That
Basically,
he killed Lucy's mum for running away and blew up Shady Sands because
bit
like
overkill. IMO.
Was it just because
She didn't want to come back.
she didn't
She
want to come
took the
back. She was
kids.
like, she took the kids. She was like, I don't want to come back. Like the world's fine up here. It was a bit belief of like, no, there is a real civilization up here. The NCR, for all their faults, were a real functioning civilization.
They were trying anyway.
And Hank was like, no, I can't have that. Like that's not like a civilization Voltec controls. So
Well, it's not ours, yeah. Aye.
yeah, they blew it up to like get Lucy's mum and that back in to punish them and to also like disprove like, nope, you can't have a non-Voltec controlled civilization. That's not one of ours.
Yeah, that wasn't the plan.
Lucy finds this out and like is like, fuck it, I'm cutting ties with my dad, you're a bastard.
Yeah.
He also gets attacked by the girl, Cooper Howard,
The goal.
who again through the past flashback stories.
Fantastic moment because it's
Fantastic
not revealed
moments.
until it's happening.
Yes, that like he's having his own plot in the past when his wife worked at Voltec and he became more and more aware of their duplicitous actions.
Well, I wouldn't say he's aware of it. He's certainly like intrigued by it, and then eventually
awareness
becomes.
in terms of like people are like, by the way, Voltec sucks. So he's like, maybe I should look into this.
I like, why is that the case? Why are the dogs not allowed in the vault?
First off, that leads them into like bumming into again Moldova.
Yep.
This post-war villain just here in the pre-war, telling them by the way, Voltec's bad.
She's leading the charge against Voltec.
And which is like, oh, what's she up to?
Mm.
He then spies on his wife, and we get back to back. I mean, I say back to back. It's actually
Pretty much.
probably the best
intercut.
part of the entire show.
Yeah.
First off, is this amazing lore sequence, which is a council that Barb, Cooper's wife, he's like spying on. He's got a wee listening device, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna listen in. I need to hear if she's doing dirty stuff. Like, what's up to these meetings?" She's got this guy Budware, and he's like a
Bud's
middle
basically
management.
telling you the plot of the show.
Yes, Bud's basically like, bro, I've got some theories about like
Yeah.
how we should outlast all our enemies.
The future
and we
is
should
management. That's
we should
it.
do management. And Cooper's like, I don't want to hear about this.
Like, shut up,
but,
Bud.
Like, Barb's with them, and like, I'm gonna listen to this meeting. And we discover the meeting is a fucking shadow council.
Yes.
And then they start throwing up the cameos. I'm
It's
like,
good.
oh, okay. A guy for West Tech. West Tech's like the super mutant power people. And I'm like, oh, Repcon. There's a last Repcon. That's the Rocket people for falling to Vegas. And then they're like, Robco. And I'm like, is that Mr. House? And I pause Amazon Prime, like, blah, blah, Mr. House. I'm like, oh my god, we're here.
Look,
We're doing this. Fucking Big Mountain.
it's a folly show. What did you expect?
Who's that man? Pause. Frederick Sinclair. Oh my god, we're doing this.
We're here.
Like this, you couldn't have put. This was the point, right?
Just
Up
saying.
to now, right? They sort of reference New Vegas adjacent stuff, and you're a bit like, oh, they really are considering New Vegas as canon. The NCR, like they're still aware of it. Then they're like Robert House, Frederick Sinclair, Big Mountain, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like shaking. I'm like, oh my god, like this is like the shit from New Vegas.
Aye, this is what we're doing.
So like they have this big shadow council where they reveal Voltec dropped the bombs.
Listen, I want to speak about this quickly. Yes, possibly, because I saw someone on Twitter say this, and then someone was like, "You don't understand media literacy." Obviously, they dropped the bombs. I'm like, actually, the like take he's got makes sense. Barb would not drop the bombs without her kid,
Yes,
right? So like, why is that happening?
exactly.
Is it actually Voltec to drop it? I mean, it could just be that Barb wasn't aware they'll drop it at that time. But I think if she's in the Shadow Council, she knows when the bombs are
It's
dropping.
possible. The only working theory I have now is that like once they found out that Cooper was spying on them, probably the higher ups were like,
She's
cut it out.
she's gonna shoot.
Cut it
That
out.
could be the case, you know. But like,
then I would say like
Voltec,
that's a surprise for her.
I would say Voltec vested interest in dropping the bombs at this
Yeah,
point.
they make it so like up until now in Fallout canon, it has been dubious.
Aye,
They
is it
constantly
like
go,
did China hit
"Who
first
did
and then
drop
we
bombs
just
first?"
hit them?
There's like a terminal in Fallout 3. It's like a like no, this American silo actually launched first, unprompted.
Yeah.
And like the guys on the like, why are the missiles firing? What's going on? So we don't. Like, did America do it? Did the American government do it? Did China do it? Then they do even occasionally be like, man, the Voltec did it. Like
There you go.
Voltec were designing fucking bomb-proof shelters. Voltec were a fucking capitalist, like fucking oligarchy, and they had all these vested interests. They
Well, it's like-
they had an interest in dropping the bomb.
It has like repercussions for the lore as well because like the Enclave were ahead of it.
Yes.
So
that's
you'd be
the way to get into
thinking
that guy because the Enclave were basically the American government and Voltec.
right. So I wasn't sure Voltec were super involved, entrenched in the Enclave.
The Enclave in canon were the ones who created the vaults.
Right.
I don't know if it's like how they went about it. I don't know if they created Vault-Tec or supported Vault-Tec or encouraged Vault-Tec or a guy who like one of the guys in Vault-Tec was like an Enclave guy.
And they just created Vault-Tec.
Basically, I think at its core, the Enclave were like, we need to figure out a way to survive the apocalypse.
Aye.
And they were able to generate it's called the Societal Preservation Program, which is the vaults.
Right.
Or at least that's what became the vaults.
Okay, so that actually makes more like the fact that in the show that happens doesn't actually like influence that much then because they were already involved.
I was going to say like the show just basically put an even harder line. Again, you still don't even know for 100%. We just know that Vault-Tec's ambition was to do it. We now have a concrete example of like, no, the high ups at Vault-Tec were planning for it.
Aye.
They were like, we should probably do this.
They're aware it would have been a good move.
I'm now starting to think like, yeah, like I agree with that thing I heard where it was like, oh, first off, the media literacy thing, I'm sorry I did brought up that. Like, media literacy is such a weird thing because it's...
Oh, wasn't it me? I just seen something.
Oh, I suppose, yeah, not that you personally.
Shame on the guy I had to do it, I guess, but like...
It's weird, like, media literacy is such a strange thing because people wield it in aggressive ways. I think media literacy is an issue though because a lot of people have an issue with being able to understand what they're being read.
Right.
Like, Dune's a good example where, like, people are a bit like, oh, well, like, I don't know, like, Paul's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, like...
He's the bad guy.
Listen to what the movie is saying and what she was doing. There's a joke going on recently about how movies now need to have a big red X and a big green tick. It's like when...
Bad guy.
Because some people don't... It kind of goes... You read it?
Bro.
Last Jedi. Remember the Last Jedi when Kylo Ren's like, man, like, let the past die, kill it if you have to.
Yeah.
By the way, Luke Skywalker was crazy and tried to kill me. And people are like, well, like, that must be what the point is. Like, Kylo Ren said the past has died, so that must be like the message of the movie because Kylo Ren said it. Even though Luke says something different, like Luke and Yoda are like, no, we should maybe preserve the past.
Aye.
And it's like, it's contradictory messages. And it's like, you even said this in episode, like, the bad guy saying something to manipulate like, that's not the point of the movie. You can't, anytime a movie says or does anything, doesn't explicitly mean that's what, or the movie or the TV show or the program is trying to express.
Like, Mario Bros will do that, right?
Yeah.
But, like, anything higher than that in age rating
like,
probably isn't doing that.
Contrasting opinions.
Aye.
Just because two contrasting opinions are presented doesn't mean the TV show or the movie saying, like, believe everything. Like, a villain saying something obviously has less value than the hero saying it, or the protagonist. Media literacy is such a weird thing. There's some people need to be told, like, yes, just because Paul is doing more deep things in this doesn't mean the movie is saying that is the right thing to be doing. But some people apparently need to be told. But then some people also then turn around and use media literacy as like a more of a weapon to be like, you just don't fucking understand it. You're just not like into it. Like, it's a nightmare. Now that's a whole topic in itself, I think. Anyway, to go back to the theory crafting a wee bit. Yeah, the thing about like surely Barb might have known, but now that I said that to you, I'd be like, oh man, maybe they sort of distanced her for the council.
Yeah,
that would be like tragic that Barb put so much into Vault-Tec and then
it crumbled anyway. Aye,
because Vault-Tec is just evil.
Although, I mean, Coop's words would lead you to believe that the child is alive.
Yeah, he says, I'm looking for my family.
And
plural.
Barb's alive.
Yeah.
So
my working theory is that like they still let Barb into a vault. They didn't like fully cut her out. They just like sort of like, yeah, you're not going to hear about the secrets.
Kicked him out of the door.
Aye. Like, I want to see how it goes. I'm probably, in my head, I'm like, he's probably like, oh man, it's happening. I'm going to get to Barb because Barb's got the vault. And either the vault won't let him in or Barb herself will be like, fuck off. Like, loser. I think, yeah, that's my current thought. So I think they both got into a vault. Or they were, because he doesn't know where they are at all. So,
yeah.
Unless he's been to the vault that they were in and it's open and nobody's in it, then like he might not know what vault they were in.
Yes, actually that could be it because he's looking for them. Now, if he's looking for them, I don't think she's kicked him out. I think he's been kicked out by other people in Vault-Tec.
Or possibly, yeah.
Because I feel
separated by force, not by will.
Because if she's kicking him out, that's a definite, like, man, you just don't like me anymore.
I wonder if it's also possible that she maybe actually is still in the inner circle because Coop's sort of current goal is like, I have to go to find the source. Are you ready
to meet your maker?
Yeah. So
who's the maker?
Know where she is. I don't know if that's like well, you're the head of Vault-Tec, like you're the Vault-Tec top, so you'll know where Barb ended up. Or if it's like Barb was part of the inner circle, you'll know what happened to her.
Yeah. So he's obviously going to speak to Mr. House.
Well, possibly.
I mean, that's who I think it would be.
Back to that scene, so we sort of reveal that, yep, Vault-Tec are thinking we're going to organise the bombs and we've got the vaults. In order to make the vaults work, we're also going to do a bit of like experimentation. To, like,
we need your input here.
We need your input.
We'd like you to cooperate with us. Come up with some experiments.
And then that's like, yep, this is like the start of the experiment program. Like, this is our like, how are we going to build our perfect capitalist, like, under our thumb society?
Yeah.
I like a couple of the vaults they throw out are actually vaults that are in the franchise, and some of them aren't. I just like that sort of thing. So that's then countered to, like, the third ongoing narrative of them finding out what's the deal with the home vault. Lucy's home vault, Vault 33,
Yeah.
which is connected to two other vaults, Vault 32 and Vault 31.
Mm-hmm.
So those things we've been finding out. Something's going on there. Something happened in 32.
Norman's doing some digging.
Norm's doing some digging. Like, Norm's like, what's going on here? Eventually, he's like, I have to go to 31 because 31's where, like, for some reason, all our overshares
All
are
of them.
31.
Every one of them transferred.
Including Lucy's dad, Hank, and Norm's dad, Hank.
Mm-hmm.
And so you basically learn at the exact same time. You see the meeting happen, and like Coop's like, "Oh fuck, I'm pissed off." Then like, by the way, Coop, we went to meet like fucking this guy who's like a big fan of you. Norm's in Vault 31 in the present day, finding out, bro, Vault 31 is a cryogenic storage.
Yes, mate.
There is one brain on a Roomba in there.
Yep.
And it's fucking Bud.
It is, because Bud, obviously, how are we going to preserve? What's the killer of humanity, bro? Time. I'm going to put my brain in a jar.
Survivors, management. Vault 31 is full of Bud's interns.
Yes.
A bunch of pre-war people that Bud recruited to be like managerial bosses and heads.
That's it.
Who was one of them? Who was Cooper Howard's big fan? Hank McLean.
Hank McLean, mate.
Kyle fucking McLachlan.
There he is.
Cooper.
There he is. What am I saying,
He
man?
was a villain. He couldn't be a good guy for long. He had to be a villain.
That's what it had to be, man. All me to say is, like, Kyle MacLachlan in shows with a girl named Lucy. They're just wins. Like, that's it.
I was gonna
Facts.
say, it just always goes right for you, bro.
It can't be an L if that is the state of the show.
Is there a Lucy in Desperate Housewives?
No, it's Twin Peaks. But, like,
No, I was
maybe
gonna say just there could be.
there could
Kyle
be.
MacLachlan's in that and he's great.
There could be
Fucking-
Sex and
He
City.
seems like Orson. He plays that murderer.
Like, what's happening?
I love him.
Me too. Beautiful
Who's
guy.
Lucy in Twin Peaks again?
The police station receptionist.
Okay, nice.
Lucy.
So that's like, holy fuck, my brain's expanding to fucking mass levels here.
There's a lot, man. It's just like
Hank is pre-war.
crazy reveal after crazy
He's
reveal.
part of like Voltec's pure Omega eugenics program, like take over the world, like in a post-war.
That's the move.
They basically, we're going to nuke the world and then we're going to rule post-war because we're going to, all our vaults will open and our perfect society will come out.
Yes.
And like places like Vault 31 will exist where we have our people
Our farm.
to take over. And then like Coops, obviously like he shows up, goes in the present day where Hank and Lucy are. They reveal the story of like, also like Lucy and Norm's mum found out that like Hank was up to something.
Aye.
Left with Lucy. Lucy actually, she always remembered the feeling of the sun.
Turns out
Because she was
actually
so young,
was
she
the
just assumed it
sun.
was the vault, but it actually just was the sun.
Aye.
Because she stayed at Shady Sands for a little bit.
Yeah.
As I say, Hank found out, was like, nope, can't have that. Fucking kidnaps Lucy and the wife, I think. Oh, no. He pulls Lucy back, and then they nuke Shady Sands.
Moldaver's pissed about that.
Moldaver and a bunch of folk, like, sort of survive, but, like, something happens. They ghoulifies Lucy's mum.
Yep. Aye.
Right, there's, like, a heartbreaking reveal. It's about, like, you know, like, what happened to my mum, because like, I thought you were buried, and it's like...
I was fairly
she
certain that
remembers-
was when she walked into the scene. I was fairly certain that who it
Do
was.
you think? I never
Aye.
even clicked. I don't even know why. I just
yeah.
never clicked. I'm like, what's
like,
the go?
That's why I was like, why is that going
I
there?
was
Oh, it's
still-
probably that.
Even though we knew she was a BAM at this point, there's the main sort of enemy in the vault is another 31 who's also revealed to be obviously like another one of the
Aye.
pre-managers. Betty, played by
Yes.
Leslie Uggams.
Ah.
Fucking blind down, let's do cocaine.
Deadpool.
She basically says like, because at one point Norm realizes that his mum's pit boy was used to get into the vault by some people outside.
Yes. Aye.
Like that, the instigating event of the series is Moldaver coming into the vault and like kidnapping Hank,
Aye.
which I'll quickly refer to in a sec what her sort of angle is. But Norm's like, well, how did they sort of get my mum's pit boy to get in? And Betty's like, well, your mum had her pit boy on her because like me and your dad like buried her. Which even when we knew she was suspicious, I still thought like they at least had buried her. Whether they were the ones to have killed her, I was starting to think. But
Yeah.
now I realise like no, that was just Betty being sardonic. They did bury her under a nuclear bomb.
Yes.
Which that's completely fucked. Coop comes in, goes after Hank, and Hank bolts it.
Yeah.
We also get the accumulation of like sort of Moldaver's sort of plan in her story was that as an NCR survivor, she's like, I need to try and like get things going again. She was working with this enclave like defector to unlock the secrets to something that she was working on pre-war,
Yeah.
which was cold fusion, but like not just like low level cold fusion, like fusion cores and that. This is like proper like the smallest spark can fucking power cities forever.
Yeah.
And she actually is able to, right before she dies, succeed. She turns on a cold fusion reactor in the Griffith Observatory, and it seemingly powers up the entirety of Los Angeles, including like the ruins and that.
Yes. Aye.
Which is like the implications. It's more about the implication of that. Like there is now a clean, permanent, infinite energy source in the Fallout universe.
Yes.
Like that for a post-war world is fucking mental.
And the Brotherhood have control of it.
And yeah, and that's where we finally, because we haven't really mentioned them, is the whole Brotherhood thing really comes to a head. Because the third main character is Maximus, who is a sort of he is a survivor of Shady Sands, saved by the Brotherhood, idolizes them, wants to sort of like be in them and be a great guy.
Aye.
bit down in his luck though, bit piddly,
Mm.
desperate to prove himself, gets paired up with a knight. Turns out, knight's a big fucking dickhead pussy.
Well, this one was. Aye.
Well, at least this one, yeah, I suppose. It doesn't mean all the Brotherhood are, but like, you know, the elderly or the cleric, which is kind of like a new thing to follow, but I'm fine with it. The cleric basically later says like the Brotherhood's starting to like sort of fucking stray a wee bit from our path. Which has always been a thing the Brotherhood's had to deal with. The Brotherhood's always been like this. We are going to preserve society going forward, but we're also going to save society by stopping pre-war technology running rampant. That's how we get the nukes in the first place. And they've always been struggling with like how hard on do we go in this? Do we be like superhero Power Rangers?
Yeah.
Do we just run into people and rob them with pre-war stuff?
Look,
How much
it's
do we
a
actually
good
help?
idea in theory.
It's a good idea in theory, but then like you have all these different variations. Like Fallout 1 and 2 Brotherhood are kind of like dickheads.
Aye.
They're like fucking even the New Vegas ones, although they're post-war. Like we've just been beaten in a war. We
They're
don't really want to
scared.
go outside.
Aye, they don't want to get involved.
But
They're
there's
just in their
levels of
bunker.
like, we don't really want to help anybody. We just want to do a thing. You've got like the 76 type Brotherhood who are like because they are so detached from the regular
They're
main
kind of doing their
Brotherhoods.
own thing.
They're trying to figure out like how to deal with it. You've got a voice saying like, no, we should be hardline, strict military, or you've got a voice saying maybe we should be a bit more outreach, maybe we can use our sort of advanced resources to guide people. Then you've got the far east, like Washington DC Brotherhood, who are like we splintered off for the California ones because we just want to be good guys. We do want to help people.
Aye.
And is that good or not? Like, how does that work out? So in this instance,
But if you're a robot, I will fucking kill
if
you.
you're a robot, I will fucking literally end you. Feral Ghoul dead, Submutant dead. Like it's just how it has to be. Synths don't even fucking.
Don't even get me started.
Fucking don't even breathe the word synth to me in a 1,000-mile radius. So like, this version of the Brotherhood and the show is very much like, you know, we need to figure out where we are right now because we are a bit like in an odd spot. And Maximus sort of has to deal with a shitty dickhead knight who's like, oh, my pussy, oh, I don't like fighting, oh, you're a loser, you're supposed to heal me. And he's like, that. I was immediately sort of struck by his moral like failings. And being like, do you know what? I will just let you die because you're a dickhead. And I'm like, oh, I deserve that, but like, that's
a bad karma choice, bro.
That's out of your code as well.
Aye.
And him being like, I'm going to take up the armor, I'm going to do the mission for my glory.
Aye, he's very much for personal gain.
He
But
does
then,
really...
like, he is very much for personal gain, but towards the end, he's like, I really actually don't want the plaudit right now.
Yeah, he really struggles with, like, what he wants
Aye.
in a way that I find compelling. He goes up and down. He goes from, like, you know, I want to fight for the honor of the Brotherhood. And then he's like, well, I'm going to do this for my gain, but my gain is glory for the Brotherhood. But then he starts to realise that maybe the Brotherhood as it is now isn't the best.
Isn't the life he wants.
So, but it's funny, by the end of it, he's actually receiving more and more praise, and he starts
and sort of shies away from it. Yes, exactly.
Because he sort of intersects in the plot. They're looking the MacGuffin for the most of the years as the cold fusion thing. They're chasing after the scientist, and then unfortunately the scientist dies, so Lucy's got his head. They're chasing after the head. Maximus interacts with Lucy. They kind of have a little bit of a romance going. And then Maximus eventually goes back to the Brotherhood and sort of like the Brotherhood's a bit faulty, and I'm kind of more interested in a life beyond it. I'm interested in living a life with Lucy and experiencing sort of a bit more joy than rigid military like pseudo-fascism. Meanwhile, the clerics and like the people on the side of the Brotherhood, like, let's just reinvent the Brotherhood Maximus. Let's just start anew. Let's be superpowers.
Yeah, you can lead us to glory.
And so Maximus is like, oh, I don't know about this.
Ad Victorium, brother.
Literally ad Victorium. Right up to the end where Maximus is actually the first one. He finds Lucy and hearing about the shit with her dad, being like, fucking what's going on. Finds Moldaver and like Moldaver dies, but he gets the credit.
Yep.
So everyone's like, you are like the hero of the Brotherhood. You killed the baddie. We get cold fusion. And Moldaver's last words are like, bro, probably watch out your Brotherhood.
Yeah.
It was the lightest nudge, but Maximus was already like, oh fuck, she's right. What have we done here?
Oh, what have we done? We should not have opened the door.
So like that's that whole situation going on. And then sorry, finally I keep moving away from it. Yeah, like Cooper has struck Hank and Hank bolts. Hank flees. He's like, I'm right here.
Aye.
So Lucy and Cooper are like, we're gonna go after him. Like Lucy's like stealing herself. She's like, right, the world is not as good as I want it to be. It's not great. We can build to be better, but I need to confront some of these demons. I need to accept like my idols are down.
Yeah.
My dad's a dick.
Well, my worldview shifted. Like I came out of an ideal society into utter chaos. I didn't know how to act.
Nothing like how I thought it would be.
I was too soft. I've become hardened to the world. The only person that I cared about has betrayed me to my very core. What am I looking like now?
And she could now, like, her season 2 path could be like a darker path. She's now been influenced by, like, Coop.
Could be.
Like, it was a negative influence in terms, like, early on in the series, he had her, like, trapped. He was just a bully and a dick. But now he's more like probably a potential mentor figure of, like,
I'd say Coop's, like, moral centre for the show. Like, he is actually
I would say Lucy's the moral centre. I'd say, like,
well,
on an alignment chart, Coop's, like evil. He's maybe lawful evil, but he's still evil.
I don't know. I'd say he's, like, lawful good.
No, he's not good.
No? Really? Like I'd say he is the good
I think
Like, his
for
moral
most of this,
standing,
he does a lot of bad things.
perhaps, but he's doing.
He's not good
aye.
because he's literally like Ella in the show, like just shooting folk.
He's
like,
very much
bullets.
ends justify means here.
He's very much, well, at the start at least, he's very much like, I'm doing bounties, I'm just killing folk. Towards the end, once the events start to unfold in a way that is like, oh, hang on a minute.
You realise that he's actually doing this for a good reason.
I think more that he's given a better reason. Right at the start, he's woke up, he's like, I'm just going to do a bounty, I'm just going to get some money. And then he starts to hear like names. He's like, oh, Hank McLean. He's like,
right, okay, yeah, I see that. I see that.
Actually, Moldaver,
yeah.
I know who that, like, he goes to that one place and he sees the picture of Moldaver and he's like, why does Moldaver look like that?
Yeah.
Which is how I remember from over 300 years ago. So I think he starts to get more and more stimulus that prompts him. Maybe he has actually more of a moral therapy because he has a more distinct moral journey. Maximus has a complicated evolution of his own ego. Lucy has a fish out of water unfolding story. Cooper has more of a moral transition of I'm a freeloading dickbag. I'm a cowboy ghoul bounty hunter. But as he receives stimulus that forces him to reconcile with his like past and what he does know, he becomes at least more of a like he's still a bit of a dick. He still kills people like very flippantly, but he starts to at least have pathos and he starts to basically work towards more morally upright goals.
Yeah.
By the end of it, he's like, right now he's like, do you know what? I have the direction to go after my family. I'm like, right, that's actually a noble goal. You might kill people, but at that point he'll be chaotic good.
Right.
But I think for the majority of the show, he's more like maybe chaotic neutral.
He is.
Maybe lawful evil.
He's going to become the cowboy that he is, okay?
He's gonna.
This is what we're
I
doing,
think
bro.
by the end of Coop's journey, he might actually become a full good guy. Yeah, he might be like pure classic, like the movie, the idealized version of cowboy that he played in the movies.
I think, yeah, because Lucy has a tendency, a potential to go negative, dark, evil. And I think Coop will definitely, Coop will definitely check her and balance her. Be like, this is not what you should be doing here.
Well, we are going to get revenge, but we also need to let's not just become crazies. Like, come on, we have a pathos and a goal.
Like, I think the more interesting move would be to make Maximus utterly dark, but I don't think they will because his character at this point seems to be kind of yo-yo yin-yang.
Yeah.
We're trying to do a bit of both, but I don't know how they're going to work it out.
I think based on the fact that he got that scene with Moldaver and that he's consciously aware that the brother would be an issue. I think he's more likely.
But
to be
now
like
he's going to become. But he is now the figurehead for the change, so he's been given ultimate power, I guess.
Yeah, I think which is
going to be the issue.
Yeah, what's gonna guide his character is like his pathos regarding like. I think going forward he's going to be like, look, I know that the brother's maybe not in the best state now. I've been told to watch it, and I am suspicious.
But I have power now to change.
I have the power to change it. It's like, what is his version of better?
Aye.
Can he go about it the right way? Should he even try to go about it?
Should he even
or
try?
Should he just be like, no, this is an issue, I'm leave.
Taking my power and I'm leaving.
So it's a bit like, now that you've been given the power that you seek, like, what do you do with it? I think he's in a moral point that he could be led towards good, but I think he's also just, he's fallible, Maximus, where it's been shown that he's very much like, he can be a bit more ego-driven, a bit childish because he's been quite sheltered. Obviously, he's a child of apocalypse. There's a scene in episode 5 or 6 where Lucy and Maximus talk about having sex.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird scene when I first watched it because it's very sterile. Lucy's like, would you like to have sex? And he's like, oh, is that when your fucking penis, your pee-pee shoots wizzy was out it? And
it explodes.
Initially, I'm like, that's a sort of a sardonic-y type scene. But then I realised it does kind of actually remind you of these are weird people. They've developed in weird ways.
They have, but I'm fairly certain they're drugged in that scene as well.
Well, that too, yeah. I think they're coming off fucking the cocaine and that. Lucy was literally grown up in a weird breeder vault.
Yeah.
She's got a very sterile, clinical view.
Lucy's autistic, right?
Excuse me?
In the way that there is no social cues to read. We're very much doing X, Y, Z.
She's been taught to live and breathe in a certain way.
Literally.
She's been in an echo chamber of these people.
There is no social connotations to just asking someone for sex in that moment. That's just what you would do.
And I think that's part of her character anyway. That just reflects her growing thing.
And that's just fallout.
I think it was important for Maximus though, because Maximus is basically
well, it's an insight into it's a diegetic way to understand how sex in this world could be talked about or interacted with.
Maximus wouldn't have had sex ed.
Aye, because
Maximus is a kid of the apocalypse.
Literally.
He was born after it. Nobody's going to be sitting them down and being like, well, let's talk about the birds and the bees.
Yeah,
they were like, bro, here's how you fucking scrape lead out of this so that you can make bullets so you don't die.
Can you farm? I need you to farm, bro.
That whole point, that scene was more comedy. It kind of made me remember, oh yeah, Maximus has got a very sort of
sheltered look at this.
Sheltered and warped worldview because he's had to grow up with different priorities in mind than Lucy and Coop.
He's only heard rumours of this thing.
This mythical sexual object.
Literally.
What's going on there?
What is going on?
So like I'm like, yeah, okay, like Coop's a pre-war guy. He knows like, the real world. He's just been shaped by the post-war. Lucy had a different sort of like weird, like clinical, sterile vault upbringing. And
Yeah.
now Maximus like he's a child of the apocalypse. How is his morals going to be shaped by that? What's he going to think? You know, he's really only known the Brotherhood since he lost his parents, so he does have a bit of an idolatry to it. But he's also got an ego about like what he wants. So.
I mean, there's a good scene that kind of displays it when they're crossing the bridge and Lucy's like, "There's no need to kill these people," and Maximus takes no prisoners and just kills them because in the wasteland that is how you would have to do it.
But and as well, it's like it's funny because like they do try. That's really good because they try to be so.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Maximus is
he's always aware.
He's always aware because those people also do draw the guns first.
Literally.
So it's a bit like Maximus still has the
He wants to try it.
There's clearly an element of moral good in him, but he's a child of the wasteland. He's never going to be able to give himself to the imperative moral good that
he's
Lucy
too
represents.
smart to be that naive.
Exactly. He sort of is in that kind of situation. But I think the question is then like, what can a character like that do if he's given absolute power and if he's given like positions of like authority and like how do you guide people for the better when you yourself aren't exactly the ideal moral person? You may be perfectly reflective of the world you live in certain ways, but you know, is that what we need going forward?
Bro.
Which I think that's fucking listen to how we've just talked.
Who knows, man?
How fucking amazingly rich and layered are these characters?
Well, like, that's what season 2 is going to have to deal with.
Well, because then, Cooper and Lucy are going to fucking chase after Dan. They're going to meet the Makers.
That's it.
Because Hank McClane, he walked around. He's at a Vista.
Cressa Hill.
What's in the Vista? Let's turn around. What's that? Is that Seattle Space Needle? Oh, that's New Vegas.
That's New Vegas.
Hank McClane is at New Vegas. Roll
He's
credits.
at New Vegas.
Lucky 38 sign. Top sign. Ultralux is there.
There you go. I mean,
NCR Vertibird crashing the strip. What does that mean?
What does that mean, Ewan? Is it, oh my god, they've escaped Sadie's hands and told them because it's not that far? Man's walked.
I was going to say, like...
So, like, I think they would know about it.
It's... First off, again, I was screaming. I was shaking. I was nearly crying. I know I sound like a fucking absolute fanboy cuck. But, like, when I saw that, like, again, you go from the references, oh my god, that's Mr. House, to actively, no, see in season 2, we're going to New Vegas.
Like, it's there.
From Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah. You'll see it.
And I was like, oh my god.
We're there.
That is like literally my second or third favourite game of all time. A lore that I'm obsessed with, I'm in love with. A world space that I am so thoroughly invested in, and you're going to do it. You're going to bring it back. And you've shown me in these 8 episodes that you've got shit cooking. That
like,
you respect the franchise, that you have a story, that you know you're up to something. So you're going to bring me back to one of my most beloved places of all time, and you're going to show me some shit.
Bro, we're going to do things in a timeline that is so far past the events of the game.
Like, yeah, we're talking, it's like, what, 40, 50 years, 30, 40 years?
What does the landscape of New Vegas look like? What was the ending of New Vegas? How did we get to this new point that we're in?
Exactly. I mean, we're already asking so many questions. Like, is it Mr. House he's going to see? So is this like, did Mr. House survive this
Bro,
world?
What happened to the Hoover Dam?
Like, a lot of people keep obsessively talking about how, like, the credit sequence shows you, like, an abandoned, sort of fucked up New Vegas. I don't know if the
Could
people...
just be dark.
I think the people working on it also said it's kind of like more of a vibe.
Aye.
Than like oh, by the way, like, New Vegas is fucked and destroyed.
Yeah.
I deeply hope that, like, we don't go there and it's completely fucking empty.
That'd be shit.
I would be a bit annoyed unless they turn around and explain it well, because I trust them. They've got, they're in my good books.
Like, if episode 1 we turn up and it's dark and destroyed, I might be like, you know what, let me see where this goes.
Yeah.
But if episode 7, penultimate episode, we get there and it's actually wrecked, what have we done?
Like, how did we get here? Because I don't think realistically any good ending to New Vegas involves New Vegas getting totaled.
No.
Like, an NCR victory...
Is there an ending that happens?
Not really. I mean, like, even in the Legion ending...
Like, they take it over, but did they destroy it?
Take it over. An NCR, a crashed NCR Vertibird is apparently like a thing. It's like, that's getting an indication situation. So regardless of whatever the ending was, eventually there was a conflict.
Like,
right. Like, that's
potentially
what the implication there is.
Right.
I think in a best case scenario, the canon ending is a house victory.
It would make sense. Yes Man would make sense because then we'd need to canonise a courier and give them a whole backstory.
That's what I'm saying. Yes Man wouldn't make sense. That's why they can't do Yes Man.
Exactly.
Because they'd have to, like, have the player character be there, which is insane.
I mean, ballsy play if you could do it.
A bit mental.
But
yeah, like,
Mr. House makes the most sense because it doesn't necessarily kick the NCR out.
Yeah,
it does kick them out of New Vegas, right?
Expansionary terms, and it restricts.
Yeah.
Like, Mr. House still, like, a Mr. House ending still has an NCR victory at the dam, But then,
Right.
like Mr. House via the protect one is like, also you guys fuck off.
Aye, yeah, exactly.
Which I think that makes
Aye.
sense. And I think it's more interesting for the world, even though I
Mhm.
always side with the NCR anyway.
Right.
But like, if you want to, like, if you're trying to reflect a large world,
Mm.
a larger ongoing narrative, having like
Yeah.
a independent state is a bit more compelling.
Like,
Like,
yeah.
it just gets folded into the NCR.
Like, defeating the Legion completely, I think would be like, you're taking like a piece off the board that could be interesting to explore, especially because the game didn't fully explore what it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, Caesar could have died still, but
I
like,
was going to say, I think that Caesar's dead no matter what because he
Aye.
has a brain tumor mind. So
Exactly.
let's say you never even talk to Caesar during
yeah,
because he's going to die eventually.
exactly. But having someone take his place and continue like the Legion like way of life.
It's another cut off the head thing. Like, I think if you kill Caesar and like Atlantis,
Mhm.
it's a bit like, oh, the Legion are a bit aimless and they might just like
Mhm.
start dying. I think if Caesar's dead
Lannis is alive.
during the game, like if you kill Caesar during the game,
Yep.
and Lannis, but you leave Lannis alive, it's the implication of like, yeah, the Legion are like, again, they're a bit aimless because Caesar's gone.
Like, Lannis
They
says
may
he's
be able
coming
to
back.
Sort of, Lannis will come back, but I think it's a bit like he won't be able to do it as good as Caesar. Like,
Probably
he's gonna be,
not.
like, one last hurrah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think in my head, like, I actually think by the game's proxy, the Legion might not be an issue.
Or, well, at
Or
least
again, it'll be a remnant situation. You
they
might find, like,
certainly
the
they certainly won't be
leftovers.
attacking the dam.
Yeah, I don't think the
They
Legion's
could be
gonna
doing
like
something else,
the
but
main enemy of season
Aye.
2.
Aye.
I think there might be a reference, or that, again, you might find like we are
Some
you might find a
bastion
group,
holding
you might find
out.
a town, and like
Aye.
we are Centurious.
Aye.
We're actually remainders of a really old like war faction called Caesar's Legion.
Yeah,
but
like
we were
there's
fucking
probably some holdout
fell
somewhere.
apart basically,
Aye.
and we're like the remains.
Mhm.
I think that'd be great. Actually, I'd love to see
That
that.
makes sense. I feel like they'll probably touch base with all the New Vegas factions.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some things you
The
can't
ones that would
avoid.
be about, anyway.
And I think ideally, if they want to be smart, like a canon ending to New Vegas will be like Mr. House one, but it's also one that engaged all the factions in a survival way. Like the cans will still be there.
Right, yeah.
Like
The Legion will not have
casinos
steamrolled them.
will still be there.
Mm.
The boomers and like the Enclave remnants. And in
Mm.
fact, the Enclave remnants are like a weird state. I mean,
Yes.
most of them will be dead because they were already 90-year-old geriatrics during
Mm-hmm.
New Vegas.
Arcade Ganon
Like,
might be
Arcade
alive.
Cannon's descendants. Like, what's the situation? Maybe, I mean, Arcade wasn't super into the Enclave. Maybe they might just die out. Maybe
Well,
Arcade will be like,
the
cool, all you
survivors-
guys died out.
The Survivors of the Apocalypse. That's his
Followers of the
faction.
Apocalypse.
Followers of the Apocalypse.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
his
yeah.
faction.
Although they might be in a weird spot because I believe canonically Mr. House chases them the fuck out.
Okay. Man, they're just in the...
Brotherhood as well. Like,
Free side anyway.
Mr. House, I can't mind if you can broker a piece with the Brotherhood on a Mr. House ending.
I mean,
Although,
the
do you know what?
Brotherhood could just stay away.
Let's just say this. They can canonize a flat Mr. House ending, but they maybe can just retcon the minutia. Well, let's say in the actual
Aye.
New Vegas, if you do a Mr. House ending, you can't spare the Brotherhood.
Mm.
If the TV show just said, no, they just did. Like,
Well, I mean,
aye, Mr. House
you
broke a
could
piece of
play the
Brotherhood.
whole game and never see the Brotherhood.
Well, that's true as well, yeah, I suppose, aye.
So, like, we can pick and choose a canon because you'll still have
You
the
can pick
game
and choose a
canon,
yeah.
but, I mean, you would just need to make the concession that, okay, if you're going to play New Vegas and you do it this way, that's not how it actually happens in the canon. But you've done Legion runs, that's probably not how
Mr.
it happens
House
anyway.
being canonized, yeah, in like season 2 of Fallout
Mm.
doesn't negate the fact that I would always do an NCR run.
Aye.
Like, it is what it is. So I think I'm going to give them the ability to do a bit of picking and choosing.
Aye,
I
it
want
makes
you guys
sense.
to pick what
They should
gives
be
you-
allowed to.
Yeah, whatever gives you the most to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of them being some Brotherhood left in a bunker in New Vegas, like I think that could just have it be a compelling plot point for an episode.
Aye.
Maybe Lucy, or especially Maximus, can be like, they can
Well,
be like, oh man, we're
you'd
moving
think-
into New Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, we should touch base with the guys in
Aye.
this one bunker.
Like, do
You
we
get
have
the-
a sect over there?
Yeah, and like, what's the happening to them? You can just tell me that they are fucking suffering because they weren't doing amazing
Mm-hmm.
in the original New Vegas. You
Yeah.
can tell me that there's like very few of them left. They basically don't even care about the Brotherhood anymore because
Aye.
they've been just hiding it in this whole trying not to get shot by the NCR and now by Mr.
Mhm.
House's roving army
Aye.
Securitrons.
Like, 40 years ago, they had this weird, like, infighting thing. Where, like, this
Yeah.
one guy wanted to, like, rise to my elder. It wasn't happening.
I'd like it if they just chucked out some stupid shit like, oh bro, like, you know, I'm elder like fucking Maxima
Mm.
and my mother elder Veronica, and I'm like, oh, that, because that's the thing. This season showed me that they can be pretty much, you can do as obnoxious fan service as you want, but
Mm.
the thing is, there's not a lot of references to direct things in Fallout Season 1,
No.
other than like, here's the NCR flag, we're going to play the Fallout
I
theme.
think they're saving it.
Well, exactly, they said Season 2 will be a lot more hands-on, but I am giving them permission to go for it. Literally be like,
Mm.
I am the daughter of the last elder, her name is Veronica, I'm
Damn.
like, for Fallout New Vegas,
So
Or,
like I want an Avenger shot, right? Like hear me out. Like I want Lucy, Boone, Rex, Raoul, Eddie. Like I need
was
them all
thinking,
there,
to be fair, I was thinking they go to like the lucky 38 and like
and they're all
Mr. House
gambling
is
at a
there,
table.
and he's like, like I was able to maintain because I had a help of this.
These captains.
Of like I had the help of an old courier, and like you could chuck it around. They could go to his suite, and you could literally have this glorified shot, right? I shit you not. This would be, I think people would mock this.
That'd be so funny.
I'll take a glory shot. They walk through it. It's literally this Lucky 38 suite.
Aye.
It's got all the snow globes. Literally, even the DLC ones, like the crack ones. There's
Beautiful.
like a picture, and it's like fell off the shelf. So the picture of the courier scratched it, but it's like Boone, Veronica, like actually like dog meat. Or sorry, Rex, Eddie, like all that, like fucking Lily.
Get Lily in.
Everything. Just if you can be as obnoxious as you want, because I know that like I've always said this, fan service is only bad when it just doesn't really do anything, and technically that wouldn't do anything. But I also trust that you'd be writing a good story around it. So if you want to take 5 minutes to just jack me off about Fallout New Vegas,
thanks for that.
That's great. Go back and tell a really good story after that, but thank you for that. That was a really great 5 minutes. My mind's just ablaze with possibilities.
Well, it's very that. I mean, this is a sign of a good show, I guess.
Yes,
They've left us with a lot to
and
chew on.
A lot of interesting questions that I don't even feel won't be answered. Or the bit like, they killed Moldaver, so they're actually going to answer like, how did she survive and what was her relationship with the NCR?
Aye.
I actually just trust that they will answer that.
I mean, I hope so. If they don't, I'll be a bit miffed.
I would be miffed, but I feel like Nolan's like sorry, I don't, not just Nolan, but like the showrunners of this and like kind of productions, like they are smart enough to at least, at the very least, answer how Moldaver survived, because
I hope so.
They can't just present like make a big deal. Oh, look, Moldaver was pre-war. Look at that.
Aye.
Here's how Hank and Betty and Coop. I mean, Coop's a ghoul. That's his answer. He's a ghoul.
Aye.
But here's how all these guys survived.
But this other person, forget that.
I feel like
you don't need to worry about that.
They're smarter than that. They might never explain the depth of like Moldaver's relationship with the NCR unless that's tied to how she survived. But you could just tell me that she just, however she survived, she just then joined the NCR and was like part of that.
That makes sense.
I'll live with that. Thaddeus is a ghoul, bro.
Thaddeus is a ghoul.
Maximus gets a dickhead, like a guy who he hates at the camp, and then he joins him when Maximus is dressed up as the knight, and then this guy named Thaddeus, and he's like, oh, we're cool, we're pals, and then Maximus reveals he's Maximus, and Thaddeus is like, fuck you, and then he like gets like brutally, mortally wounded in his foot, so he takes like a drug for this random guy, and it might be turning him into a ghoul, or it might be turning into a super mutant.
It seemed like a ghoul. They said ghoul.
Well, they said ghoul, but he just saw his like weird fleshy skin.
True.
I think it would make more sense if it was FEV. You don't really get healed as a ghoul. They could just change it. So far,
Who knows?
They've made very weird little lore statements that like a lot of people don't question, which I'm happy about. Like, there being a drug to stave off turning into a feral ghoul. That's just not a thing for the games. But like,
we've never had anyone become feral to my knowledge, like in front of you in a game.
Maybe not directly in front of me. There've been a couple of moments where like characters have transitioned for that constant fear of becoming feral, and like kind of being a bit like like mind that one guy, like the mind a really sad scene where they find a friend Coops like in the clinic, and
yeah, but I mean like in the games, I mean,
but that's what I'm saying, like we've had characters like that, maybe not that fully went feral. I'm sure we have had at least one instance where if you can leave a ghoul character and come back and they're feral,
right?
But I mean 6 out of a dozen, like maybe this drug's a new thing. Some people have been saying
it just looks like Radix or Radaway.
Well, that. Or some people have been saying, and I don't know if it really explains. No, it's contradicted by that guy in the clinic. But a lot of people have been pointing out that it kind of really is only a thing for Coop. Let's just ignore that guy in the clinic for now. It's kind of mostly only a thing for Coop. And it might not be. Some people say it might not be anything to do with him turning feral. He just might be coming off of a high because he talks constantly about how much drugs he's on. He is on a lot of drugs. So it might just be more drugs to keep him like either on a high or like because he's so fucked up on drugs he is going feral, so he just has to keep taking drugs. Maybe that's his build, bro. Honestly,
I don't know.
I don't even think I need you to explain it to me.
I would like it to be explained.
Or like put it in the next Fallout game.
You could do that. Yeah, you could do that. Aye.
It's one of those weird world building things where I can just accept it's a thing that's happening now. Because luckily Fallout takes massive time jumps between each game. So if you told me, like, by the way, seen the last like 20 years, there's recently developed some sort of thing that kind of staves off ghoulification, feral ghoulification.
Aye.
It's like, but it's obviously not amazing. You have to constantly take it. It will run out. So like, yeah, cool, okay. That's just a thing that's been worked on. Cool.
Okay.
The healing thing, you could just tell me is a ghoul thing, but I don't know, maybe it could be feral ghosts. I say they promised, like, we might just touch more and more into familiar stuff.
Right.
Hank McClane on his way to New Vegas steps on a Deathclaw skull, so, like, that's obviously, like, a man
Aye.
Deathclaw.
Well, I thought we'd get a Deathclaw, we end up getting a Yao guy,
I
so...
was going to say, I think they didn't want to go too hard, because people
No.
are pointing, maybe even you said to me, who's beating a Deathclaw realistically in this show right now?
Not Night Titus.
Like, a Deathclaw is probably going to fucking peel everybody in this show off.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, like, it won't be a threat in season 2, he's there slightly more experienced. I just mean, like, for the starter, when you're getting to know these characters, you don't
Aye.
want to put them like
Up against
Avengers
the
1
ultimate
is the
alpha.
Thanos. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Avengers 1's Loki,
Aye.
Avengers 3's Thanos. So
And
like,
Avengers 4's the Khazars.
Avengers 4's the
Bro,
Kangsadors.
you know.
Oh man, the fucking Night Stalkers, bro. The fucking
Oh, Night Stalkers were an issue, weren't
the
they?
trauma harnesses.
Bro.
Oh man, mind Fallout New Vegas, Graham.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine they just go to Big Mountain.
I don't think they'll go to Big
They
Mountain.
will not, absolutely not.
They might go in 3.
But season 3,
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
they could.
Depends how long we're in New Vegas, what we're doing.
I guess yeah, like
Like, what is the plot of this show past? We deal with Hank, we kill him, whatever it is, we find the kids and fucking, what's her name? Coop's family. We find them.
aye, we think it's something.
What is the plot past that?
I
What
was
does
gonna
Lucy
say-
have to do?
I kind of in my head almost hope that it just doesn't. I remember a good show can just end.
I mean, it can.
I hope this show has an ending. I hope like you can tell me it lasts 3 seasons, but like I hope the prevailing narrative right now is like sort of we have to have an ending between Lucy and Hank.
Mhm.
Does Lucy kill Hank? Do we maybe redeem Hank? I don't
Mhm.
think it's possible, but like we could kind of push for a redemption. I know, very Omni-Man-esque Hank is at the moment. You know, he's done a lot of bad things, but maybe they can press on the fact that he loves his daughter, and we can see how we do that.
Potentially, I think he's too far gone, but you know,
I
maybe.
think so as well, but it's just a direction they could take.
Aye.
I think that the biggest boss of all this is like the head of Vault Tech. I mean, I think we said earlier about how we don't think that there's guaranteed.
Like, that is like we've talked about big low swings. That's the biggest low swing.
I
The
think
head of Voltec's alive in the post-apocalypse, and we're actually going to fuck him up right now.
if that's how it is, we talked about this before. So alongside the show, they've put out multiple shorts.
I've not seen any of these
I know
shorts,
you've
bro.
not seen them. I might need to show you them.
Put them on after this.
I will do. Actually, they're very short.
Hey.
And it's like, oh, you're working at Vault Tech, you're trying to be an employee.
Hmm.
They only put out 2, but it was like a 6-step program. Some of them might put out more. I didn't know, I didn't think. And then they just did. They were like, here's the third one. Surprise drop. And it's like, okay, board of directors, CEO of Vault Tech. Vault Tech's got an international HQ. It's ran by a fucking supercomputer. So people are like, is this just season 2 hints? Are we just getting like the indication of where we're going?
Aye.
We're probably like we're going to go to the international Vault Tech HQ and sort of understand who's controlling it, because that's one of your letter of questions. At the Shadow Council, there's a shadowed figure.
True.
Who is that?
In the rafters.
I initially thought it was Stanislaus Brown, who is the head scientist of the vaults. So like basically in this meeting, Vault Tech are like, you have some vaults, we'll have some vaults. And in Vault Tech they had this scientist called Stanislaus Brown. Or Braun, it's like very obviously like very German, he's very like comically scientist. And he was the head of like the Vault Tech experiments, and he created the Gek, I believe.
Right.
But as we go on, I think it might not even be him. He's sort of dealt with. We know he's a
Okay.
bad guy starting the experiments,
Aye.
and we meet him and kill him in 3, or
Yeah.
kill him or doom him to like death.
Aye.
I think it's probably like I think like it's gonna be like the head of Vault Tech, who is like an agent of the Enclave.
Right. Okay.
Some people said it might be the president, because weird enough, we actually don't know a lot about
the capital P president.
Yeah, like the president right now.
Aye.
Fallout 2 has like the president of the Enclave, who is
Who was the
technically-
president?
Yeah, who like would have been that president, but
Aye.
he wasn't the pre-war president. He was just the current head of the Enclave.
Right. Right. Okay.
So the who, we don't really even know anything about who was the president during like the bombing.
Aye.
They right at the start of the show, the very first scene during the flashback to like the bombs falling, on the radio you can hear them say the president missing for about like 10 days. So that's always like president knew.
Aye.
President's been hiding.
President's probably in the enclave.
President's like in the Enclave. So it could be him, or it could be like, I think it's gonna be like
Or China kidnapped him. Probably not. But like,
kidnapped him, my god. I think there's gonna be like a patsy. Like I think this picture in this short we'll watch is like a fake CEO,
right.
and there's probably gonna be a shadow CEO who's like the Enclave,
Right. Okay.
and they're probably gonna give us who is the leader of the Enclave, and it's
Right.
probably gonna be the US president
Mhm.
at this time. And they might say up some stuff, like they might reference. I think his name's like maybe like I think the guy in 2 is Richardson. I think it's President Richardson.
Right.
And they're probably gonna maybe reference him and like the ongoing stuff for later games, but like he also might still survive. You could tell me that like the guys in 2 were like a section of the Enclave, and like the head of the Enclave, like the original capital P president, top level, had squirreled himself away in a private vault
Right.
and like was just like ready to rule the world.
Aye.
He was going to show back up at one point, something
Just to
like
like
that.
say hi.
He could be the ultimate villain. That would be an insane swing for the lore. To
Definitely.
really just lay it all out. Here is the exact
How is man
logistics.
pulled power after coming out?
Well, literally, here's like the exact logistics of the Enclave, the Vaults, who started the war.
Aye.
We're dealing with that. We're telling you what's happening in this show.
The 123rd vault.
Literally. I think, 3 or 4 seasons.
3 or 4 seasons. And then we're
Season 2 is,
piecing
like,
out.
probably dealing with the aftermath and working up to a final confrontation with Hank.
And then
sort
we're
of
moving
learning,
from
like,
there.
who's behind the curtain.
Uh-huh.
Maybe starting in that one. You meet the Emperor. Like, Darth Vader's the villain for the majority of season 2, but then the Emperor sort of
Like,
rears
do
his
we
ugly head by the
even
end of it.
do we even need to mess with the higher ups if we've dealt with our personal issue after season 2? That's a question for the characters to answer.
Possibly. Although I think, at least for Coop, I think his answer to the question is involved with the higher ups.
Potentially.
He's like, he doesn't just want to find his family. He does want to know what it is. He wants to know. That's
Why the bombs fell.
Who decides that dogs can't be in the vault?
Who makes that decision?
He starts to understand that like people are playing games with our lives. Who is this?
Aye.
Who is the chess master in this game? So
So
Cooper's got
he'll see it through at the end no matter what.
yeah, I think at least his arc, and I wonder if like just Lucy will become aligned with that as part of her like
As friend.
as his friend and as her like because she's a Vault A. So she because now she's becoming aware of like Vault-Tec's grand architecture,
Right.
of like the grand design of like no, there's experiments, there's a greater story to this. I think curiosity might lead them a bit forward,
Fair.
and a sort of a desire to know and to understand, which is I think very human because to learn the constraints of your situation, especially in we're in the post-apocalypse, the world's already ended, but there's a framework still guiding your hand. Do you know what I mean? Who is really pulling the strings? So much so that they are still somehow maintaining this godlike status in a post-apocalypse. The world has ended, and yet somehow the guy's still putting pieces on the board.
Right.
Which I think's maybe fascinating. Although I think they have to keep a personal aspect. Cooper's locked in because he's got his family, and they might just say, "Yep, like Cooper's going to find the head of Vault-Tec because they don't know who his family is."
Right.
I think maybe it's however they deal with Hank. I'll give Lucy a sort of a pathos going forward.
Okay.
Maybe they don't deal with Hank in season 2. Maybe they do just introduce a new roadblock
Maybe
in
Hank
season 2.
just meets the actual guy.
Maybe Hank's got his own story in season 2. We watch him go bump into Mr. House.
Potentially.
Bump into like Sinclair, who's like in a robo-brain. No, he's dead. Sierra Madre. Hank just does dead money, bro.
Bro. Him and God.
I guess I want to know if Maximus will stay directly involved.
I think he will.
I imagine he might just somehow end up chasing Lucy.
That's how it's probably starting, yeah.
Probably that, and then probably the Brotherhood will be like, oh man, like
he's got to deal. I mean, he probably chases her immediately, realises she's there, comes back, regroups, gets the cold fusion happening, and then, I don't know, I guess he would link up with the Brotherhood.
Well, I think the Brotherhood's maybe going to be chasing Hank and be like chasing the Vault-Tec shit, because the Brotherhood do know Vault-Tec's an issue, so I mean, I need to maybe rewatch the ending to see how much Maximus was present for, how much he knows. But Maximus could be like, yeah, like, the Overseer of Vault 31, 33 is like the guy who nuked... He was there to find out that he nuked Shady Sands. So he's like, well, yeah, I mean, to be honest, either like, here's the guys who nuked Shady Sands.
But I don't think they'd be pissed off at that.
No, but I mean, not in terms of like they'd be angry that Shady Sands get nuked, but more like, oh shit, Vault-Tec have got the ability to just nuke people, and that's the guy who did it, run it to New Vegas.
Aye.
Get after his ass.
Well,
we need to figure
in
out
theory,
what's Vault-Tec. They probably, I think the Brotherhood would want to know what Vault-Tec's up to now that they know they're up to something.
That's what I was going with. Like, in theory, the Brotherhood would want a Vault-Tec because Vault-Tec is just pre-war.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to preserve and, like, capture.
Yeah.
So that makes sense
and
for them
stop,
to be like...
So when they feel like, by the way, there's a fucking guy running New Vegas who has nuked a fucking entire city in the past, like, that's the shit we need to get on lock.
Like, they're going to kill Vault 33 when they get there.
Pretty much. And you know, you could have, like, the Brotherhood could, I say... Depending on like Maximus' inklings and the Brotherhood's inklings, they could become more of a hostile force.
Yeah,
you'd maybe like or
Let's
think.
say I want to speak to you. I have your brother at gunpoint and your whole vault.
Like literally, these guys are bastards.
Aye.
Do you think Chet's going to save Norm from Vault 33?
I think Chet actually might have a serious Chad glow up in season 2.
We just forgot to mention.
He's like, I'm
Lucy's
not a cuck anymore.
Who's obsessed with her
and does have sex with her.
And who
not in the show, but in the show.
Who has sex with like another lady probably, but that lady thinks that he dresses.
I don't think they've had sex yet.
No, they have definitely had sex.
Are you sure,
bro? The bit where Steph dresses. Steph is one of the. Steph's husband is lost in the initial radio attack.
Yes.
Steph is like starts dressing Chet up like her husband and just starting to fucking throw herself at him.
Yes.
They've definitely had sex.
I don't know, man.
I think they have.
I mean, they try to, and then she has a baby. So I think there's a bit of, bit of time after that.
I do love that they had this like sort of Norm was the focus of the emotional through line. Chet was like a unwilling companion, but he just had a bit of sort of lightheartedness and also a bit of like, oh, it's good that Norm has a guy. And then they just hit you with a bombshell that, oh, by the way, the funny horny Steph, oh, she's actually Vault 31. She's actually one of the baddies.
Aye.
And it's like that reframes.
She is actually
everything.
from the pre-war.
She's one of the pre-war ones.
Literally.
She was someone in the pre-war. That reframes everything. That gets you like suddenly the tension is shifted. Like Chet was one of our closest guys. He's now fucking ensnared by Vault 31. Like the whole fabric of this is changing.
Yeah.
Like I'm really keen. I really hope something's still going to be happening in the vaults.
Norm escapes 31.
I think the biggest question left with the vault is like, how's Norm going to get out of where he is now? And they never fully really answered what happened to 32. And I did 32? They make it clear 32 didn't fall because the Raiders were involved. The Raiders showed up
31,
and they were all right. There's like, we know the truth. So something happened in 32 before the Raiders even got there.
So they somehow knew. My theory is kind of like, it must be to do with Lucy's mum. She knows something, probably because 32's happened, or like that's how she becomes suspicious, maybe. Because it only happens like, what is it? I think they mentioned it's 20 years they've been dead for.
Yeah, around that.
Something like that. And that would, I mean, Lucy looks about that age. Right?
Yeah, I
so
think since the last swap.
Makes
One of the
sense,
last swaps,
right?
at least.
So that kind of matched up where mother finds out and taking her out.
Yeah, that's actually fair.
So that's where like my timeline, at least I'm sure they mentioned 20 years somewhere. About 32 being like that's how they died.
It could very well
they're
be
like
something around that.
because they say like, oh, they've been dead before the Raiders got here,
Mhm.
and the Raiders just got there. So it's got to be in about that timeline. I'm thinking. I don't know how they find out or what exactly it is they find out, but that's my theory on how they would die.
I'd like to
how they get
believe
fucked up.
that's like maybe an extra wrinkle. The best way to like keep I mean, you don't want to milk it too much, but the best way to make something interesting is to always leave a hook, and then that hook introduces another aspect that you didn't understand. Like, okay, like we thought that this was just like this, but now this reveal actually adds this to it. There's now an extra bit of like chaos, or an extra bit of like, oh, actually this also could happen. Which, you know, I say they left a couple of little good beats open. I say they didn't leave me like, oh, that wasn't really explained, or I'm a bit annoyed. They just, all the questions I had were like, oh, these are like, I'd really like to know the answers. If I don't ever get answers, I might be a bit like, but you know, there's not so much that I'm like, this show's falling apart. There's enough that I'm like, I'm desperate to watch next season. I've still got a couple of wee questions that I really would like to get answered.
Why? See what happens there, Welcome to the layer cake. Like, oh my god.
Literally, bro. We're through the looking glass now, people.
Bro.
We're in. It's New Vegas time, baby.
It's New Vegas, baby.
I hope Mr. New Vegas is in season 2.
Mr. New Vegas.
You ain't nobody till somebody loves you. And that somebody is me.
Is me.
I love you. Now here's fucking like
Big Iron.
Fucking Big Iron. Big Iron.
Big Iron.
Oh man, I hope we get the music shifts to like Western music. They
that
used
would be
nice.
Like,
classic Fallout songs, actually, like maybe Orange Coloured Sky, fucking like ink spots all over the joint.
We had
like,
some serious Johnny Cash bops.
Some serious Johnny Cash. Like I want the season 2 to be like, yep, fully fucking Big Iron.
We're here.
Fucking like Johnny Guitar, like
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon. Oh, Blue Moon has to play. Like they have to play Blue Moon.
Dean Martin's Blue Moon. Like
I'm surprised they used I mean, and they're not 76 songs, but there's a couple of songs in the show it's like for the 76's radio.
Damn.
Fucking He's a Man. You know the bit where Maximus is like testing out the power armor? That song, He's a Man. He's a Man. I think that's new for 76. And then there was the one that was in the South Park Amazon episode as well.
Jesus Christ.
The fucking I was born man running when the sun didn't shine. 16 tons. 16 tons. What do you get? The version in this was different.
Right.
It was like maybe the original version or like a cover.
Probably.
But it wasn't the same as the one for the 76.
Okay.
But I'm just appreciative to see them reference
And
76. There's the fucking shop. We didn't barely even mention Philly either. The little settlement where like everything sort of goes to a head at the start. All the characters meet for the first time. Ma June has a Pit Boy from Appalachia in her shop. That's a 76 Pit Boy.
She's got a Vault Tech suit.
She does as well.
I can't remember what Vault is from.
I'd like to look into the details. I'm sure there's some fucking bits and bobs.
There's some Easter eggs.
I need to watch some videos. I'm sure there's a bunch of Easter eggs I've not even conceived of. That
yes, bro.
I'm so gassed.
I mean, it's important to the fabric of the universe,
It
not
is.
just the games.
It is, but it's like Star Wars almost. I mean, every reference is not just an Easter egg for something else, but it's also just a tangential reminder of the consistency of the universe. I'm so gassed up, bro.
Man's gassed
Whether
up.
you were off it or always on it, Fallout is here.
It's here to stay. It's back. It's rejuvenated. It's back.
It's back in the public eye. Sales have spiked. Fallout
They
4
have.
sales are up 7,500%.
It's like when Monster Hunter Worlds 2 was announced. Monster Hunter blew up again.
My God.
This is it again.
We're
Except
back again.
probably bigger.
But I was going to say, Fallout 76, it's spiked. It's get the most players on Steam concurrently.
There
it's
you
ever
go.
had.
There you go.
Fucking Fallout 4 is about to start outselling Helldivers 2.
What a world.
Like, fucking scenes.
The new update comes out
We'll get next gen soon.
literally on Thursday, 25th of April.
They did just blow up Fallout London, unfortunately.
That's true. Do you know what? Should have had it done faster.
Oh, hey.
I'm joking.
Those guys are the hardest
I'm
workers.
joking.
Those guys work harder than fucking Bethesda
I
does.
mean, I'm fairly certain the next gen update was meant to be out a long time ago.
Yes.
Like, for the anniversary of the game,
Next
probably.
question. Like, yes.
Literally, aye.
For
Wait,
Bethesda,
you talking about game?
I don't know if they maybe deliberately delayed it for the show.
I think it's close enough, like, makes sense.
Aye, maybe
Line it up a bit.
They were delayed in the first place, and then they
I
were
mean,
well.
they've
Might as well
hardly
just push it back more.
lined it up, let's be honest.
I suppose a month later.
Literally.
I mean, for Bethesda, it's like a holy shit. Like,
Damn, we had Starfield to Dubai, sorry. Forgot about that.
bro, Todd Turner, I think the other was like, by the way, like, just so you know, we did remember Starfield was a game. I'm like, you could
Like,
just forget it.
Nah, like, I bet it's okay.
I bet it's okay as well, but like, you've got your two tent poles. Like,
Aye.
we're all
Look,
getting
this
hyped
was
for Elder
this
Scrolls.
this was his child.
One of your tent poles are fine now. Shut up about Starfield.
I know.
Give Fallout some
I'm a
love
bit
now.
sick
And then
of
do you know what? See, once Fallout's passed, Elder Scrolls 6.
Come on.
Like, come on, guys.
I actually need you to get that game
Fucking
out so I can
Starfield.
get Fallout 5 really
Do
fast.
you know what? Aye.
Like, I
Literally.
like, release Elder Scrolls 6, let it be utter shit,
Don't care.
give me 5.
Give me Fallout 5.
I don't even
aye.
care about it. I
I'm
won't
not
even
even care about
judge
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls 6 being bad if Fallout 5 comes out. I wouldn't care.
I'm not even. I do not do fantasy as much as I used to anymore. I'm
See?
like all sci-fi, so like I fuck Elder Scrolls 6.
Damn, man.
Just give me Fallout 5,
Ski, that's all I asked for.
and it'll be mid.
Probably. But that's what we're
We'll
here
be so
for.
excited for it, and then it'll come and be like, man, that was alright.
Literally. I'll make another sniper sneak build. Oh my god, shock horror.
I'll make another sniper. Bro,
Another.
I'll plug all myself into intelligence and charisma and just speech shit out everything.
That's
And
it.
I'll probably just use the most regular automatic rifle I can get my hands on.
Simples.
Simples.
That's how we play these games, bro.
Will there be a building system? I'm involved.
Most likely there will be, Ewan, let's be honest.
Bro, we got to get you further into 76. I got to get you enjoying building.
I will create a Minecraft house,
See-
5x5.
See, because Mr. 5x5, see, because you don't need to do like Sim City shit in Fallout 76.
Mm.
You don't need to worry about that. You can get involved
I
in
know.
building there because you just
See,
like a creative juices flow, mate.
oh, there's no juices, but that's the problem.
Bro, we'll guide you then. We'll get you kits. We'll get you fucking buildings.
Don't
things you
worry.
got, man.
I've got it.
I've got the ability to build like a back half of a car. Maybe I'll build like a garage.
Oh.
That's it.
Ooh.
Goes for me. I don't look at them. They were a lot of man. We're doing like in this season pass. We've got like a projector and like theatre seats, and I'm not building a theatre.
That's what I'm doing. That is just what I'm doing. Can't beat it.
Oof. Anything else?
I don't know, Ewan. I don't think so. Covered Fallout. Went for a bit longer than we thought, but there's a lot of ground to cover.
I was going to say. I think
Do you know what I mean?
we're
Fallout's
wrapping
chunky.
it up there now is a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, any longer, Rebecca would probably hate us anyway. But
Fair.
this is a good beefy episode.
It's actually 2 episodes, Ewan. We done a good chunk.
Yeah, we done a good
We
job.
covered all we had to cover. I would seriously look forward to the Fallout Games episode. Because
Yeah.
even the like minute, tiny amount of ground we covered here is like the breeding ground and the basis for what will become another 18-part epic, probably.
Oh, I was gonna say like,
Like,
that will
genuinely.
be our saga, man.
Yes.
Like that will be like the Odyssey.
I
a wee
agree.
bit.
Ewan's going to tell me the plot of 1 and 2 because I've no idea what they do.
It's fucking just mutants.
A wee bit. There is just FEV is the master.
Mate,
What's happening
do you know
there?
what's unanswered? The water chip for Vault 33 breaks in this, and they just don't address it,
Do you
bro.
know what? I think that was just an Easter egg. Like, I was literally saying this to you. I said, man, Lucy's plot just is 3.
It's this 3.
And then a guy shows up and like, bro, this water chip's an issue. And I'm like, that's just 1. Like, what's happening?
It's either an Easter egg or it actually might end up being the plot for season 2, to be
Aye.
fair, actually.
They're like, Norm was in charge of that.
I
Where is he?
actually like the idea that maybe have just introduced an issue that's like, well, this will be what we touch back on in 3.
That'd be quite funny.
Oh, fair.
That'd be very funny.
But yeah, I think we're gonna hatch away Fallout
Mm.
76 a wee bit, get Graham's vibes on it, see how we're feeling, and then we'll come back and we'll present some fucking Fallout dialogue
Yes, we will.
on the games. But for now, that was the show.
For now,
Excellent time.
we've been Mr. New Vegas.
Yeah.
I've been Three Dogs.
And I've been Connie from Steven Universe on the Fallout 76 radio. She's not that annoying.
Oh my.
Give her a break. She just really likes her job. You load 16 tons. What? Did you hear about the courier who climbed out of the graveyard in Mojave? Fucking anyway, here's Johnny Guitar. There was never a man
like my Johnny.
Oh man, that butcher Pete, he's hacking, he's
Bro.
whacking, he's slacking. Like,
Oh man, New Vegas had bops, bro.
bro, they all had bops.
They just do, don't they?
They were fucking tremendous. 76 does have bops, bro. Fucking Ring of Fire.
Bro.
Fucking Wouldn't It Be Nice?
Cause I'm the Wanderer.
Fucking
Like,
Stand the Wanderer. Fucking Atom Bomb Baby. Atom Bomb Baby. Jesus a fuck.
oh, bro.
Bro, these fucking songs, man. 76 inches just made like minor songs.
Minor songs.
Do you know what's good? You've got the Fallout 3 ones that are like
We're
classic,
mining.
but then like what if we take classes and we just be doing it a mine with a pickaxe?
Ooh.
So you load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt.
Bro. Like Zoolander?
Bro, literally. Like
I
South
fucking
Park,
love that.
apparently.
So funny.
Oh man. I'd say watch the show. I think it's
What
I
show?
think you can even get into it from there.
I mean, yes.
You'll be going backwards is the only thing, but
Yeah, but I don't think it matters. I think it would
Yeah.
just unlock you to be like, yo, what is happening in this place? This
Yeah.
world, this universe.
I mean it's an easy watch. The show 8 episodes.
8
They're
episodes.
good length. Good
Knock them
solid
out.
episodes.
Knock them out, yeah.
They did not Secret Invasion this one.
They did not, no. They didn't cheap out. This is good shit.
This is the fucking premium shit. This is the probably also like the best type of like streaming type services. Other than it shouldn't have all released on one day.
Yeah. Oh, we should probably cover that quite a
Stop doing all day releases.
Aye, it's negative to the show. It might not be negative. I understand both points of it, to
You
be
said
honest.
this.
Like, if you can see both angles of it,
Mm-hmm.
I think it is ultimately negative for the show
Aye,
reputation
because
and like
yeah,
success.
you want it to be the benefits of all day really like dumping it all in one day. Still, I think outweighed by
Mhm.
like a show's longevity is the most important. And this will do well because of what it's did for the franchise, but it just would have done even better if you'd have spaced it out.
Aye.
And especially in regards to the show itself,
Mhm.
like cool that the show came out, it was really good and it's boosting the sales of the games, but like we still probably would be talking about the show a lot longer if you'd have just spaced out the releases a bit.
Yeah.
You want to give something as much longevity as possible to really get
I
the
mean,
joy of it.
this would have finished the end of June or end of May, middle of June.
End of May, aye.
It would have finished
8
end.
episodes,
There you
so
go.
like
The finished end of May.
pretty much end of May, start of June.
We'd be halfway through.
That's insane.
Think of the ground we would have to
We would
talk
literally
about.
have not even been at Vault 4 yet, I don't think.
Exactly.
That's fucking mental, and I would have loved that though. I would have loved that.
Yeah.
It might have even just made the blow back on the franchise even better. You know, people might have been watching like by episode 3 and they're like, I should really get into this Fallout shit.
Aye.
So you could have came like episode 7 and you've been playing 76 for like
Yeah.
fucking 3 weeks
Like,
now, and you're like, man, I'm really coming
76
back in. I'm infused.
Yeah, like it's got a peak now. Its peak could last a week. It could have had sustained 8 weeks of peak.
Yes, exactly.
Because
they
the show
could
could
have
have
just made it even
driven
better.
it there. Yeah, exactly.
So like, you just gotta stop doing this, and this isn't just obviously Amazon. Netflix
And I mean-
started this shit.
Netflix started it, and I mean, it had some serious success in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
especially with older shows re-releasing binging and newer shows releasing in batches.
Well, yeah, I think what happened was is at the start it was more of a novelty, but now that
Uh-huh,
like
yeah,
streaming
yeah, yeah.
services have basically taken over it, like
Aye.
now they need it more than they used to. Because like for example, like Daredevil, when Daredevil season 1 came out,
Mhm.
like that was a novelty. It was like, oh, instead of like, you know, I could turn on TV and watch shows, but this is like
Aye.
dump this big prestige thing in front of me, which is
Mhm.
like cool and interesting, different. But now streaming services are the main, so they need
Well,
to
yes.
understand what was successful
I
about
think-
long running TV series.
I
and
think
content and that.
life's got busier, so it's harder to binge a thing. I don't
That
know if
too
that.
as
I don't know
well.
how true that is, but I think life's got busier. So it's harder to sit and binge 8 episodes at once. That's why the weekly structure would be better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even like Netflix pioneered the system, I guess. I don't know if there is a perfect version of it, if anyone has done it.
Yeah.
Amazon don't even do it that often. Like, The Boys is
That's
weekly,
true. The Boys is weekly.
Invincible
was
was weekly, and it was broke up into 2 parts.
Although I don't know if that's good because I feel like Invincible's hype got a bit fucky because
Well,
of the batch
well,
releases, but
I
then that
don't-
was maybe based on Invincible's like already existing
Aye,
gap
like,
in
I
expectations.
don't know if that, and I don't know Like, what makes a show break?
That's true.
Why did Breaking Bad break?
Mm-hmm.
Why did Invincible break? I don't
A
actually know
really
why
good
that is.
example's fucking JoJo's. Like, there are a lot of issues in the JoJo's community about Netflix. Netflix basically got the exclusive streaming rights and took over the sort of had a lot of a hand in the production of Stone Ocean's anime adaptation, and they released it in 3 separate batches. And we don't know why they did it the way they did it. These things were randomly announced. Like, they would fucking dump like 12 episodes, disappear for like 3 months, and be like, oh, by the way, next week you get another 12 episodes, but not the rest of Stone Ocean. Like, why would you do that? Anime especially is one of those things where, like, JoJo fucking Fridays or JoJo Saturdays, like, that's the thing that's for the community and for the longevity. What was the purpose? At best, you can tell me, like, oh, well, okay, like, with Stone Ocean, like, we only had some episodes ready, so we released them and then kept one. Just finished the whole season.
I mean, I think that's like a zoomed in, we're dealing with a small nucleus issue community, because it's anime and it's inside JoJo's, which is inside the anime
that is
bubble,
true.
right?
I'll give you that.
Netflix isn't known for that.
But I feel like anime is also one of those types of really good examples of why you shouldn't do batch releases. Anime's a long-standing cultural thing.
Notoriously weekly.
But not even just for Japan. I mean, even in a modernized world, fucking Dragon Ball, Pokemon.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Notoriously weekly. So that's why I'm saying, like, I mean, that's just a good example of, like, why would you do it the way you did it? You know what I mean? Like, Invincible, if they're like, we've just waited too long since season 1, we have to get what we can out of season 2. If we have to split it in half to finish the other half, that's fine. And I'm like, no, don't.
I bet they still done it weekly.
They did, but then they also took a really big awkward break in the middle.
Yeah, but they didn't just drop batch 1 at once of season 2.
Well, that's fair as well. I'll give that.
Is what I mean. Like, one came out weekly, hype. Season 2 took a bit longer, I guess, and that's probably why they had to break it, because they had to finish part 2. That makes sense to me, to be honest, why they had to do that.
I feel like at least in these instances, just finish it. You've already made this wait long enough for season 2. Just finish it and have a intelligent, consistent release cycle. Because the best way to breed the most successful shows is consistency. And
I mean, I can't speak much on Invincible because I've not seen it, so the break might make total sense when you watch it. I don't actually know.
As well. I suppose Invincible's maybe not the best example. That's maybe why I threw JoJo's back in, because that is a bit more like why, like, what's going on here? Why is there random breaks? These should be weekly by default, and not only is it not weekly, but you're also only releasing some at a time, and then you're taking these random indeterminate length breaks. Yeah. Like, what was the purpose of that?
I mean, there's a break like esque attitude towards something Netflix done with a show like that. So there is a way to extend the life of a show you drop at once, aka the Sandman approach, which is to have it drop, it had a big pop, then have another episode locked ready to go. This works perfectly because it's Sandman. It's most of the time sort of self-contained stories just with the characters.
Oh, do you know, these little shorts that might be teasing season 2, that might be the thing.
I mean, it could be. That does extend the life. So
it's a thing, and it has 6 segments. I thought, this is 6 episodes. So you're almost telling me there's going to be 6 of these by the end? Because, like, you've got episode 1, it's step 1, episode 2, it's step 2, and apparently you've released episode 3, step 3. So that's maybe like like, if that pans out, that we are going to have, like, every, like, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, suddenly they're going to drop, like, a wee thing, and then by the end of, like, a couple of months, we had the show at the start, but also they kept prodding us with it to remind us, by the way, things are happening. Yeah. And then maybe even by the end that done, they can maybe say a couple more concrete things about season 2, although that's been super hopeful. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you said, hopefully that kind of has the required thing. I think it's not as good as, like, just doing a weekly release, but
of course,
it's really helpful. Sandman especially, because of the design of Sandman, you know, if the show allows for it. But then you need to tell me what was the original benefit of just dropping it all at once anyway, I guess. Like, if a show, like, allows for returning back and, like, sort of adding more on, you don't necessarily need to do that. Like, Sandman could have still released weekly and then just had Dream of a Thousand Cats and Calliope, like, there anyway.
Like, it definitely could have, yeah.
So I don't know what, like, you need to explain to me why. Like, was there a reason why Sandman had to drop all at once?
Well, I think that's more the fact that it was on Netflix's streaming service, not another one, because Netflix, like, only do that. Anyway, and Netflix are known to just drop it all at once.
Yeah, I'll give that.
Which is, I guess, the issue with that.
Yeah.
But that's where Sandman is. There's no other way to
right,
get it.
Then I guess you need to tell me why did Fallout all drop at once and they feel the need to just expand its lifespan by teasing it.
That's a good question.
Why did Echo need to drop all at once?
Well, that's a separate. Because Amazon, it's a better question because Amazon haven't done that for the bigger shows that they've actually went big with, like The Boys.
I don't really think of many Disney Plus shows that dropped all at once.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you look at Amazon as just Amazon, The Boys haven't done it.
Yeah.
Invincible hasn't done it. The bigger shows, whatever it is, Rings of Power didn't do it.
Yeah.
They release weekly. Just look at that in a bubble. So it's like, that's weird that sits out.
Aye.
Looking at Echo, I would say, because it didn't have a lot of confidence in it.
All right, okay, that's your
Like, that's
my reasoning for it.
Aye.
Okay, yeah, I'll get that.
Like,
get that.
I mean, they might have not had a lot of confidence.
Sort of saying like Disney. I thought you were saying no. Disney Plus has done like batch releases before, and I'm like, haven't they? No, yeah, there is an actual tangible reason for Echo. I guess. There's a lot more.
Well, that's
yeah,
my
Amazon
read on the
Prime.
situation. I don't know if that is a situation.
It's not your read, but it's a perfectly reasonable read based on just
like the state of the franchise, how it was received. Like, I think that is probably the read.
Aye. Yeah, no, Amazon, you're right. Like, yeah, that's really, because I can't imagine they wouldn't even have confidence in it.
Well, I don't know. Like,
they went big on it, so like,
I guess, but like, they went big on Rings of Power. It wasn't received as well as they wanted it to be. They went big on Wheel of Time. I don't know what that show is doing.
That's true.
Is it still happening? Probably.
That's
but
true,
they pumped so much money in it. So they've got big swings and big misses, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the boys, I don't think they've pumped money in it now. They've got a spin-off show. Like, that makes sense that they would kind of push that forward now. But they had big swings already. They pumped so much money into these shows. They've pumped a lot of money to Fallout. I guess they just wanted to return immediately. Instead, they waited 8 weeks.
Okay, yeah.
That could have been it.
How long's the season of The Boys?
I think it's about 8 as well. Maybe 10.
I was going to say, I don't know if it's maybe that type of thing, but aye, if it's the same sort of time.
Same, I think Gen V was 8, I think. Or 6.
It's a very odd logistical situation. I'm really curious to sort of know.
It is. I mean, people get paid more than us to understand these issues and make the decisions. So
Correct.
I don't pretend to like know what they're thinking. I just think it's a bit odd consumer-wise having mixed messaging from all the different streamers. Now, I get it. I mean, but they are in competition with each other, so they would be looking at what each other are doing.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, I think Netflix is losing. The only reason it wins is because it has the IP.
Yeah.
Like, it's got Stranger Things. That's like one of the pioneers of streaming.
Yeah.
It's so big, it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
That would just win people. They would just subscribe just to have that.
Yeah.
And then they subscribe and forget about it. That's probably what they want to do. Prime, I think, is winning simply because they've got like prestige pedigree. I think. Like, I don't think Disney has that.
I think Prime's putting out, even though you said there's maybe mixed reviews, I still think Prime is putting out the most consistently like good and diverse
I would say
stuff.
so. Like, Rings of Power, I thought it was okay.
I thought people actually think it's really good. Like,
I've not watched Wheel of Time, I couldn't say. The Boys, fire. Invincible, fire. Fallout, fire. They had old ones, Man in High Castle,
Prime's
Family
got
Great,
Has Been Hotel, like
Miss,
24, like
exactly, Miss Maisel,
Maisel.
Mr. Robot, that's Prime.
Did Prime buy The Expanse when The Expanse got cancelled?
I don't know, I think so.
I think they did, which would have been a kick for them because people fucking loved The
Handmaid's
Expanse.
Tale is Prime, what I say? That's like 8 seasons.
If it
That's
is, then
apparently quite
yeah.
good. Prime have got some big hitters. Disney, I mean, they've got the Disney catalogue.
Mm-hmm.
They've only done Marvel shows. I don't know what they've done. Star Wars shows. Shogun's a big hit. The Bear's a massive hit.
I was going to say, yeah, Disney seem to be more like focused, or at least right so far, their biggest. Because first, like the Bear, I don't think counts because they
it's
just
FX.
What?
It's FX.
Yes, like they
So
just
it's them by proxy. Like, it's not
they
really
have the
them.
streaming rights to like Hulu and that, but it's not like them. Like Shogun's also, I think, technically FX.
It is, yeah.
So like Disney have only really focused on like their own brand instead of like diversity. So they're like, well, we're going to go on the strength of like
Which is a safe bet.
I was going to say we've got the Star Wars stuff and the Marvel stuff, and we've got our own stuff because Disney do obviously their own stuff.
You're coming there to see that.
It's just the problem is they've had the most inconsistent like quality of their output.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more like yeah, okay, I'm gonna get a Marvel show, but it might not be a good one.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what I'm getting
like,
here.
Am I getting Ahsoka? Am I getting Andor? Like, So like they're in a bit of a rocky position because they can't quite
nail down.
They can't get a consistency
Some
on it.
sort of quality.
I kind of did sleep on Prime a wee bit. What's Paramount Plus like?
That
Probably
has
not very
that's got
good.
Yellowstone. That's apparently fire.
Paramount
And the old one,
Plus is gonna have something I want to watch. What have they got that I want to watch?
Halo.
That's just not true.
Wow.
That's just false, bro.
Lies. I don't know what Paramount have got.
Something's come out in Paramount Plus that I want to watch, and I told Rebecca that
They
I
were buying it.
do not want to purchase that property.
Oh my
Coming
god.
to Paramount Plus. Fucking Star Trek Discovery.
That is. That's true.
Oh, bro, they rebooted Dora. There's a new Dora show. It's called Dora.
What? I don't need this.
Knuckles!
Oh, it's the Knuckles show. Yeah, that makes sense.
Which apparently, very good.
That makes sense.
Also, apparently it's a box set drop and all episodes drop at once.
There you go, man.
But that's like a 6-episode one. Man, Paramount Plus throw their hat in the ring for the what the fuck are you doing argument. Like,
I guess. I mean, I can see. I understand why you wouldn't buy it. but I think it's anti-consumer, it's anti-show.
I wish we had HBO Max just to see what that's like.
Well,
Apple TV, I want to look at it because that's more like Amazon, where like
yeah.
but they're like weird because they don't. I feel like Apple TV doesn't have a big back catalogue, but they'll just pop out every so often with like a fucking amazing show, and everyone's like, you should go on Apple TV. It's got this amazing show on it.
I don't think they've got like, I think they may have like 4 or 5 really good ones, but I don't think they've got a huge back catalogue. Like Prime's probably like 8, 9.
But I mean more like Prime's also got like other things on it than their originals.
Like they've got other movies that are just free to watch.
When you look at Disney Plus, it's like, all right, fine, I don't give a fuck about like the new shitty Marvel show,
Aye.
but it's also got every other Marvel movie. So like that's another thing that you need to think of with the streaming services. Even
I'm sure Apple TV's got stuff on it.
It definitely has some stuff. I just feel like it's the one I've least heard about of actually having.
Yeah.
Again, for me, when I think Apple TV, I think like, oh man, like don't know about. Oh shit, Severance has just came out. It's fucking literally one of the best TV shows you've ever watched.
Aye.
I'm like, fair enough. That's another thing. Something's on Apple TV I'll watch.
HBO, like we've got it in a way. It's just Sky Atlantic for us in the UK, which is like unfortunate.
We get linked in with the Sky
so you
deals.
need Now TV if you want to watch HBO shows. You need Now TV if you watch Sopranos. You need Now TV if you watch House of the Dragon, Last of Us. You need all of that.
True.
Which is like, I mean, you'd think like there would be an international version, but I guess that is just the international version. It's Sky for us.
That's true. I suppose. I'm sorry. I know this sound really mean, but I got distracted when you said Sopranos, and I just
The Sopranos.
Gabagool. Get over here.
Get over here.
Do you know? Did you see the thing about how I don't want to belay this much longer, but did you see the thing about apparently Disney Plus is planning on putting channels on? So like there's gonna be a Marvel channel,
turn it on,
like just play things. So like we're just looping back to regular TV now. We're not regular TV, you know what I mean? We're like we've now moved out of direct demand streaming to like just go on the Marvel channel and we'll just show you Marvel stuff all the time.
Like I get it, but also like what the fuck? No, I actually don't like understand you there because like I'm very aware that like TV was like created to like dollars. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my god!
Like bro,
right?
Like it was called programming. That's what I'm guessing we're getting to again. Like they're just trying to make us robots, bro.
Social engineering.
Literally, like there's programs because they program us. Literally, the wheel, the mouse, it's running round. Do you know what I mean?
You know, this is like it's like 1:10.
Aye.
Graham's off it.
The views of Graham are the views of Graham, right?
Graham's fucking like. By the way, TV's just social engineering.
Aye, and especially from Disney. Do you know what I'm saying? Like 100%.
Oh well, I mean, aye.
Aye, so I think that's just a crazy wild conspiracy take. But
fucking Secret Invasion was like MK Ultra. Like I finished
honestly,
that show, I'm ready to go out and kill a prominent politician. Like
literally, bro, it just was.
Because he might be a Skrull.
He might be a Skrull. All I'm saying. Aye, bro, that's just an odd thing today. Like we've still got terrestrial television, however like failing it is. Like British TV still has great dramas on it.
It's true, actually.
But you just never hear about them because they're no like on Netflix all the time.
They're not on Netflix and they're not like a brand.
Aye, like the media isn't pumping them because Netflix haven't paid the media to pump them. Netflix want to pump Netflix stuff.
Other than like maybe Sky. Sky's got a weird like every so often you see like a Sky Police show pop up.
Yes.
Or like I don't know, they might hit every so often they do get like a little bit of a hit and they can sort of like circle it.
Aye.
Line of duty.
I only know Doctor Who's a thing because Doctor Who Twitter occasionally shows up for me.
Oh, okay.
But like I wouldn't know it's on the telly because
I'm
never
like,
engaging with that.
The existence of Doctor Who as a concept because of Twitter.
Aye.
I'm like, not because it's a seminal British.
Aye.
Yeah, you
in
only
Britain,
know Doctor Who's got things going on.
Aye, like in Britain, I'm aware it's a concept.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not seeing trailers. Any of that, I'm never seeing that because it's on terrestrial television. It's kind of pigeonholed by that.
I was gonna say, have you seen any of the more recent stuff? Because now Disney Plus have got that, so a lot of the new seasons
America have got it, right?
It's got America's getting it more than ever. Disney Plus are now pumping money in creative work and like advertising that. So the trailer for the Doctor Who, his first major season came out recently, and it was almost like a Marvel trailer. It was like a big fucking moment. I don't know if you saw that at all.
I've not.
You don't need to see it, but I feel like you probably might start to see more because it's now being funneled through a streaming service. Yeah.
That's a rare case. That's not happening with anything else.
That, I don't think I've watched a trailer for Doctor Who in fucking decades.
Aye, see, like
I only knew it was there because I'm a big Doctor Who fan, so I just keep an eye on it. But like, I'm fucking going out my way to look for it.
Aye.
And maybe if I was watching BBC One, but like nobody really watches BBC One anymore, other than like your dad.
Like nobody's watching.
Your dad, like your gran.
Nobody's watching telly like that, so I can understand why like, I don't know, does Disney Channel even exist in a form on a terrestrial television right
I don't
now?
actually even know. You know,
Like,
you're right. Like, I don't even know if Disney has TV channels anymore.
Like, are we taking them down to get this one going? Like, what? Why would you make this decision? Like, what is the purpose of it?
I don't know if it's
I don't
if it
is it
like
for
just
like,
to mind games, like to
like
just put on the
I
Star Wars channel as like your brain melt as you
because
just
like
consume constantly.
we are subscribed. Like, if it's all there, I understand if it's like it's premiering a week early on the program on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
But like, apart from that, why would I want that option? Unless it is I'm being an awful parent. I'm sitting my kid down in front of this telly for 8 hours and for Disney Channel.
It's like my kid wants to watch Marvel, so instead of having to find out what I want, I was putting the Marvel channel.
Or like sit and watch away and then take him away.
Because I'm not putting on the Marvel channel. Are you kidding me?
Fuck that shit.
Like,
oh my
what
god.
if Secret Invasion comes on?
Oh,
like,
bin it now.
like, delete.
I don't know why it exists and that. Or why you're doing that.
I will say there's actually a Disney Channel still because, funnily enough, what you're saying is actually coming to pass.
So I actually think
Monsters at Work season 2
right.
started, and it is airing on terrestrial television first, and then coming to Disney Plus.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Exactly.
Or wait, but or when they kill the channel, move it to Disney Plus, and then that same event is going to occur with another thing. Because then I would understand its purpose existing.
I was going to say, I don't understand the purpose of a
Because
Disney Plus channel existing, why a terrestrial TV channel exists.
If I'm going to watch it, I'm going to watch what I came here to watch. I'm not going to just see what's on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back to the bygone era. We're past that now.
Maybe it's like a control thing. Like, if you think about it, like, channels only exist via, like, certain providers. Like, think about how, like, if I put on a Freeview box, I'm only going to get, like, BBC. I have to, like, pay for Sky to get Disney. Maybe, like, if Disney are like, well, no, we're going to put our channels on Disney Plus. That way Disney have got... And I'm not saying they didn't have control of their channel. I just mean more like, we can control how you get it. When you pay to get Disney Channel now, you have to pay us directly. You don't have to, like, pay a subsidiary like Sky or manage TV rights. Now, if you want to watch anything for Disney or the Disney Channel, just go straight to us. We
straight
control
to source
everything directly.
Right.
You have to interface directly with us in order to consume media from our flow. Regardless of how that is, it's all through us, which is a bit scary.
I mean, the way you're saying it's terrifying.
But also just
but like it makes sense because like if I was say we had a channel with content, the crispy word content.
You talk about us, like the Scenes channel.
Say Scenes channel, right? Takes off whatever.
We're here.
And we're currently selling it through Netflix.
I can't cook it.
No, or Spot. We're selling it through Spotify, right?
Right, we're selling it through Spotify.
Spotify currently has all our episodes. They get it on a weekly channel release, whatever. You can come to our Patreon, you get it a week early, right? What if we get the gains right? We want to get the bag. We cut ties with Spotify. We're only doing the Patreon now, but it's more expensive. That would make sense to me from a business point because we'd want to conglomerate all our stuff into one way, one channel. We're not dividing the profits. It's only coming straight to us. That makes sense business-wise to do that. I just don't understand why they're doing that on the channel.
Well, I mean, if it makes sense business-wise, then that's why Disney would do it. Because it's Disney.
Exactly.
If it makes them money, Disney will do it.
Exactly.
If it looks like it'll make them money, but...
I don't know how it makes them money. Because, like...
Well, because...
Whoever subscribed to
the Disney Channel as a concept... Let's say, right, okay, I suppose I need to look at the plans, right?
As a brand.
But, like... What?
As a brand.
Well, yeah, like, I need to double check what the suggested plans were. I don't know if it's just, like, it's going to be a Marvel channel. Like, they might just put the Disney Channel on Disney Plus. Let's say they did that, right? The Disney Channel as a concept, like, is that, the TV... Even though TV is getting sort of redefined in the modern era, as a concept, like, not just, maybe, like, first off, we're probably going to be preying on older people, like, parents are like, yeah, the Disney Channel, like, I remember the Disney Channel. And it's like, how did I get the Disney Channel? Well, it's not on Sky anymore. It's on Disney Plus.
Right.
And, like, again, like, Disney Channel's like a thing that you would have to have about, because, like, yeah, not all kids are going to know what they want to watch all the time and be able to go directly to Disney Plus. But, like, I'd like you to go to the new exclusive streaming services. TV as a traditional, like, as a standard concept is based on channels. Do you know what I mean? And I think it'll be a while before streaming services can completely erase that as a concept. Until streaming services can take that away completely, or if they want to, at the very least they can control the concept of the channel. So now, instead of you going like, I have to pay for Sky to get the Disney Channel because I need the Disney Channel so my kids can watch it, so I can leave them to that, and then they can always just watch new things. I say now Disney can control that directly. You're like, how do I get that? I need to subscribe to Disney Plus because that's what Disney want. Disney want people to subscribe to Disney Plus. So it's I think it is just about controlling access to this media because the channel as a concept, like I'm saying, is going to exist for a while longer. So would as a company, again, I'm speaking like evil company, people want to watch the Disney Channel
Aye.
because it's how TV works.
Mm.
A lot of time people don't have specific wants. A lot of time
Aye.
people just want to turn on a channel and get like a certain type of like stuff.
Aye.
If you are a business, you're like, well, now I have the ability to put that Disney Channel, which I know people want, directly in my pocket.
Mm.
So you would probably do that because you just want complete financial and autonomous control over that.
Exactly.
But then I guess they would have to get rid of the terrestrial TV Disney Channel to make that make sense.
Then you just have people just paying for Sky and getting the same
Exactly.
result.
That's, I guess, the real point. We need to know what stays and what's going. They can't have both. It would make absolutely no sense.
Literally, wouldn't they?
And Disney are bad, but I don't think I've ever made a decision that just makes literally no sense. Do you know what I mean?
Surely there's some motive. Sorry.
Like, if it's evil money grabbing, it's still like a sensible motive. It's like an understandable motive. It's not just like bafflingly weird decisions.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's
Disney Channel making weird decisions.
Such a weird one. I'm surprised you didn't really know about that.
I'd like
maybe
heard
like
about it.
early planning. Maybe it's not like a confirmed thing. It's just it
I'd
did
like
come from an
seen
actual
it.
source. Like Disney people have been like, oh, sorry, I'm looking at.
So it passed my view, but
not even like weird leaks. It's like an actual like.
Aye.
Also,
It's happening.
Monarch Legacy Monsters. That's what I want to watch on Apple TV Plus.
True, that is on there. Facts.
Uh,
See Jason Momoa.
See Jason Momoa.
Cherry, Tom Holland.
Aquaman. See Jason Momoa.
I guess if you want.
Criminal Record. Peter Capaldi.
There you go, bro.
Foundation. Lee Pace.
Foundation's in it.
Severance, bro.
Man, Rebecca Ferguson's in it.
What? Foundation?
Yeah,
Is she?
think so.
Oh, dude, Pog.
Pog.
Rosamund Pike's in Wheel of Time.
She is. Has she read the books? I don't know. Has anyone read the books?
Tell.
I don't know.
I love it when people are just like, have I read it? Have I played it? Obviously, Last of Us 2 is like filming up the news, so they're like, man.
Ooh.
Isabel Mercad's like, man, I just like went and played the game. And I'm like, bro, I felt I should have done that. And I'm like, good on you.
I'm like, what one did you play? 2?
I was going to say, like, what'd you think? Like,
Ooh.
you played 2, Isabel? Like, she
Thoughts?
plays Dina, so she's the one who probably gets it the best. But like,
Damn, man. Ooh.
So
What's man going to do for 3? Tell me. Come on, let me know.
I was going to say, Isabel, do you know what's going
Fuck,
on?
man.
Last
Damn.
of Us 3. Can you tell them to stop making it?
Can you tell me stop, bro?
Oh, man. Right. I think that about does it.
That about does it, bro. We cooked up.
We did cook up. That was a
Cooked
good
up
one.
some rad roach meat.
Some cram, pork and beans.
Blamco mac
Bro,
and
I'll wait
cheese.
for Fallout 76 where I have 40 cans of dog food.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Yes.
delicious. Alright, and we'll catch you guys in the flip it flop.
Yes.
I'm not going to put a timer on the Fallout game episode,
But it could
as we
happen as soon as right now.
said, yeah, that is something that's on our mind. That is a project that will probably coming up in the sooner than the later.
Yes.
So watch out for that. If
Comes to
you're interested.
fruition.
And stay classy, New Vegas.
Yes. Okie dokie.
Fucking. You saw me standing alone.
Scenes is a fan-created podcast. We have no affiliation with any of the brand studios or properties mentioned. All views are our own.
Produced and edited by my partner, Rebecca. Music is provided by Epidemic Sound, and the cover artwork was commissioned by Rhiannon Kagoe on Twitter or Instagram.